Hey, what is up, everyone? And in good practice, looks like I left everyone on screen, so let's make them vanish for a little bit there. But what is up, everyone? This is Dregn Durant of the Yasuhiro88ch, and welcome to today's special broadcast. We're doing a little bit of a birthday collaboration. Birthday's really just an excuse to get some friends of the channel in here and enjoy some time with people that I had, well, how do I put it? People that I had encountered, made contact with very early on in the streaming venture of ours, and thoroughly enjoyed my time with them to the point where we've done multiple collaborations. So you see one of them in the chat there. Hello, Nova Swarm. Hello, Rory. Hello, Shadoris. Thank you for the birthday wishes there. And well, yeah, let's not wait much longer. I'm ready to kind of powwow with the group here, see what everyone has been up to, and ask them maybe a few questions along the way. So if you're hopping on and you have questions for myself or for the group, do not hesitate to chime in, and we'll see if we can't maybe get some answers from some of them. But without further ado, let's start inviting our guests here. Here we go. And I wasn't sure if he was going to make it. Looks like there's some internet outages going on out in the world today, but Vector Spaceman.
Yay! Happy birthday, Dragon! Thanks for having me on the show, bud.
Yeah. Welcome. For those of you who don't know, Vector was the very first collaboration that we had on the channel here back in, December, playing Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, we're number one.
Number one, exactly. Vector will forever be able to make that claim. All right, next up, we have yet another very early collaboration partner. In this case, it's actually more like a collaboration group, as we played Escape Room Simulator with the crew of Nova Swarm. So we have Ellie, Rachel, and Lyra. Say hello, everyone.
Say hello, everyone.
God damn it.
Happy birthday, Dragon.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
All right. Ellie, we've done quite a few collaborations with in kind of a group format, and then with Regal's a common face if you've been following our Friday night firefights with Vector Spaceman. He's a semi-regular there, I'd say. And
we shoot aliens and we don't afraid of anything.
Yep.
Exactly. Sometimes we might be shooting our allies, but it's okay. Regal here always
Sometimes
has your back.
each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're no good at aiming like me, just give him a good old-fashioned knuckle sandwich from behind.
There you go. There you go. Throwing fists.
Very easily misinterpreted.
Misinterpreted.
Good job.
Good job. And then, of course, we have Lyra here, which, honestly, we haven't really had a whole lot of opportunity to do little collaborations, but we did manage to pull off some Genshin Impact, which was a great time. I saw you load it up earlier.
Yeah, I have to catch up.
You gotta catch up.
Sumeru is just like a stone's throw away. Gotta catch up, man.
Yeah. I've been binging it in my off time too. I don't know what it is, but I will say, the story in Genshin and the way they artistically kind of depict everything, I love it. It's so good.
Oh yes, indeed.
But these are our main guests for tonight. We have a few others who'll be joining us later, and oh, I'm sorry, Neff. Did you want to say hello too? Oh, Neff's
Imagine
dying.
just leaving them out.
I think Neff deserves it.
Very
Neff
smooth.
deserves it. But
That's so on brand. That is so on brand. I love that. That's gonna be the funniest thing that's gonna happen tonight. Holy shit.
Neffeltanen, though, is the third channel that we collaborated with, the biggest of trolls. Somehow we've been coined the troublemaker duo. I don't know where that came from, but Neff and I played Risk of Rain pretty early on. I believe this was also, actually, you know, now that I'm looking at it, we did a collaboration every month after our debut month. So yeah, Vector was in December, we had Nova Swarm in January, and Nefaltanin, gosh, brain. But we played Risk of Rain back in early February, and we had such a good time. We immediately jumped into some cursed hunt showdown where
that fucking stream.
Yeah, I think you were getting, what was it? You said 7 or 9 frames?
I mean, I have a better wait. I did just upgrade my GPU, so maybe we retry that.
Oh, that's an idea. It is one that I play frequently on the channel with a good buddy of mine who will be swinging by later. But yeah, I'd love to see you shoot some birds.
Yeah.
Peter, welcome.
Calling it a channel is a bit of a stretch, but happy birthday, Drum.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And the most recent collaboration we did was also with Neff. We played Valheim together, built a beautiful little abode right next to a lake, and Neff died, so all was good in the world. The stream came out perfectly. It's great.
Yeah.
Everything as it should be.
That is the optimal result.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure Neff secretly wants me to be the one who became a tombstone, but we're not going to let her have that satisfaction.
Why would I ever wish that on you?
Big question marks. But yeah, what are we doing today, everyone? Well, obviously, I guess, reason for kicking off the stream was because, yeah, it's my birthday. And... Birthday. Exactly. But that's really just an excuse. I just wanted to hang out with you guys.
I mean, that's a pretty good excuse.
Understandable.
Yeah, understandable. Man, Vector, you get to know Vector. He seems so nice. He seems so chill. And then it's just like, man, this guy's smug as hell.
Oh, boy. Would you like us to sing to you with our latency issues and time zones?
Across 3 different time zones.
Ooh.
Yeah, with the latency.
I will gladly invite you guys to do that. Right?
Okay, Dragon, give us a countdown.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Let's hear it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my god. Perfection.
Wow.
Excellent. I'm gonna have to hide my blush, man. Put my helmet on. No, we'll leave that off. This deserves some subs, man. Peter, what are you talking about? We're just chilling here. But yeah, so if you didn't get the hint from when I was introducing everyone here, these 5 were not only some of the earliest people that I've met in my VTubing adventures, but one, we obviously did collaborations, and well, apparently we enjoy each other's company enough to keep doing it from time to time. So yeah, it's been great fun. 6 months in, actually I guess 7 months in now, and I'll just say it straight to your faces that I really enjoy it, and I hope we do it some more.
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
I'll consider it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let us try. Look at this nerd. Shut up, Soul. You're gonna be jumping on here. You gotta be careful, man. You might be next. But if we drop down here to our little event stage, let's see if my prep work paid off. Oh, there we go.
Whoa.
And
I like how you have the cam set up.
yeah,
Familiar.
seems familiar. You know, Ellie, you obviously did a much better job with the artistic talents that you all have, and mental, I guess, artistic imagery that you're able to pull through here. But I was also planning this for the Pico collab, goddammit. But with ourselves a drop down, I had to make enough room for all of our guests who'll be joining us later. And in good fashion, one of my panels is like, hey, I'm not going to show up anymore. But there it is. So I'm going to let a few videos play here in the background. Originally, I wanted to try to clip everything and get something a bit more, I guess, less bandwidth intensive to talk about a few of these streams and such when that we played once upon a time. But what you'll see here, we got, man, an old ass interface of mine. I barely remember this interface. But that's something that I've done, and as part of kind of getting you guys all together, well, for one, I kind of wanted to ask you all what you guys have been up to and what's coming up, and maybe even talk a little bit about your experience so far. It's a conversation topic that I'm a huge fan of, and well, I think we'll start with the easy one, Vector, because Vector, aside from your voice for radio, which you were pretty hesitant to accept that compliment early on, but I think it took all but 3 months, and you're just like, okay, there's something there.
Eventually, you just gotta lean into it.
Exactly.
I guess that is a truism.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. You just lean into it. That's kind of what VTubing is, isn't it? Just
it's taking a plunge, that's for sure.
I know that's
you gotta find
my
your
experience.
space and get comfortable in it pretty quick.
Yeah, for sure. And Vector, you've been working on your Life 2D model, the 2.0. I had a big question around that because what is it? It's been like, I think, a month or two. You've been talking about it.
It's the Live 2D 2.0 that's been in development for far too long. That's right.
It is time consuming though, especially depending on how deep into the feature set you're looking to go. But
well, I've talked about it on and off here and there before, that when I first got into doing this streaming dealio, I set myself some time aside to get everything set up, because some of your listeners may not know that the Vector Spaceman Show, we're a completely self-produced enterprise. So all the Live 2D, all the background, all the, well, I can't say all the music and stuff because we do take some liberties in stealing that from other sources.
Borrowing.
But all the, the visual, borrowing, that's right. All the visuals are done in-house. So I set myself some time. I gave myself the month from October to November, because we went live on November 1st. That's when we got started. So all of October, I took the time to learn how to use Live 2D. I took the time to learn how to use OBS, get everything set up, and that was great. That was just enough time that I needed. The model is pretty simplistic, but it works. It's pretty expressive for as limited as it is.
Yeah,
and that's great. It works for me pretty well. But here's the thing. I was not streaming at the same time. So when I went to start doing the second version, I did not, I guess I got overambitious in terms of how long I thought it would take me to get this done while continuing to stream at the same time. So that is why it's been pushed off and put off. But we are very, very close, and I'd like to be able to showcase it before the summer is done. That I think I can guarantee.
Hell yeah. I think many of us are looking forward to it.
Dragon's actually seen some of the early work behind the scenes already, as a matter of fact, and that's going to cost you. We're going to have you back on the show for our special.
What do you mean?
To bring you back on the show.
Why do you think I invite you for the royalties, man? Come on. This is got to get you some of that airtime, man. Especially since Vector's been taking his liberties, taking his time off. It's, someone's got to drag you back onto the big screen.
You can't rush art, Dragon. That's the thing. You can't rush greatness. You can't rush a masterpiece.
That is true.
Like a Live 2D model.
That is true.
But yeah, I'm very pleased with how it's turned out. So I think everybody else is going to enjoy it once we do finally get to show it off.
So, following up on it, the one big question that kind of has been in the back of my mind, why the model? Like, out of all the things that you could upgrade or update, what made you choose the model was where your efforts should go?
Oh, I see. Well, it's not just the model. I'd also like to update some of the interface for the show as well. But the model especially, we're introducing some new features, including Live 2D physics objects. So that's something that I had not experimented with the first model. So now I've learned how to do that. Really, it all comes down to the whole reason that I got into streaming in the first place was to learn new software, learn new technology, independent broadcasting stuff like OBS. I'd never touched any of that. So it's really all been pretty experimental, which is why I would like to transition away from what I think is sort of an overplayed medium, I guess, in the sense of game streaming and stuff like that. I'd like to have more special shows. I'd like to branch out a bit more. It does sort of just fill the schedule up at the moment.
That's a topic I'd probably like to chit-chat a little bit about with some more of you as well, which is what you guys think about streaming in particular. But I think let's actually switch a little bit over here to some questions for the Nova Swarm team, because you guys also, well, so on the screen, we'll start there. Went ahead and updated to our escape room collab. Again, tons of fun. But Ellie, Regal, Lyra. I know you guys are doing the trio setup. You guys are all contributing and providing feedback for the Nova Storm channel. But one big question I had for you guys, aside from some of the updates that you've made to your channel recently, I know Ellie, for those who missed out, has her kind of mech cockpit view now, right? Is that coming for everyone else, or is that something that Ellie was like, I want it, it's happening now?
I did both, honestly.
A little bit of both. The cockpit view is more of a sort of a teaser of like what we have planned for our mech debut, which we're hoping to get done before like this year ends, hopefully. But because making a mech debut and making a bunch of screens for like 3 different mechs is kind of a big task.
No kidding.
My mech is going to be first. So
I'm
the plan
first.
is to have everyone's cockpits like revealed as like different screens eventually, but I'm sort of the tester.
Okay. The guinea pig, as some would call it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fun.
that's something to look forward to. We do have blueprints, if you will, for what is to come. So it's not like we're, you know, we've forgotten about it or it's just fallen off our radar. No, we're, you know, working on it.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Zenobia, it is 3 mechs. They each have their own mech. As my understanding is that each operator's mech is kind of tailored to their lore and design, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
And even like when we were sort of concepting our VTuber lore, I asked the question of like, do we want to do something that's kind of like Voltron-ish of like you put these mechs together and it makes like one big thing? And then we were like, no, that might be overly complicated for what we're doing.
Yeah, then you got to decide who forms the head.
Yeah, between that and with like what our call signs are, that was going to be a little weird, I guess.
Interesting. Okay.
With nightmares. You put a hornet and a spider together, and then throw some dragonfly into it. Jesus.
Yeah.
Nightmares for days.
It's basically those
Basically what?
bugs from the mist.
I was gonna say, you teased a little bit too during, I want to say it was during the Pico collab, that the Nova Storm is out here in your sector fighting a fungal infestation, right? Was it fungal?
I mean, yeah, that's actually like open lore
Yeah.
already. But we happen to like actually put any visuals to that, and we're still working on that. But you know, things take time. You can't rush greatness, as Vector said.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, it might just
It's as
sound
true
like,
now as it was when I said it a minute ago.
because just like Vector, almost all of our assets, you know, minus music, is self-made by the 3 of us, or a combination of such.
Interesting.
So all these things take time.
So
Can I just say how great that is, how smart that was to get into it as a trio right from the get-go.
Yeah,
I think that just does so much for your channel.
I agree.
Well, we didn't start. Okay, so our channel itself, like, it started as 3, but we each had like separate like face cam channels before.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned that in the past. That's
as
right.
A sort of like setup or like tester of like, oh, can we actually handle like streaming, or like to help us learn how to like handle using like OBS and everything. But the more that we did those single face cam streams, that's when it's like, okay, time to become VTubers.
It's a natural progression, right? Especially if you're a big nerd on the inside. Which,
Not to mention all of our skill sets sort of complement one another.
yeah.
So just making the VTuber models and such was, I mean, it was kind of the one step that made sense. It's like, well, why wait for like a corporate thing when we can just make it ourselves?
Exactly.
That was Ellie's big breakthrough with us.
Well, I will say it all came out very fantastic, and you guys have made probably, at least in what I've been able to find, the steadiest progress because like you said, you guys are each kind of complementing one another. Your skill set overlaps in a lot of what the VTuber space requires, and I enjoy seeing the progress you guys make. It's very what's the word? I guess inspirational. We'll put it that way.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, Lyra, I thought, did I hear you say earlier that the three of you do music, or is it just one of you?
Right now it's just one, me. Mostly because I've had experience with music in the past, and my wonderful squad mates here were absolutely amazing, and it got me a MIDI keyboard for my birthday.
I remember that.
So I've been playing around with that, and that's some of the like little music sketches that you've maybe seen on Twitter way back when.
Hell yeah.
Just, need the time to play around with it more.
What genre of music is coming from the chat? Yeah, maybe we'll open it up to all of you guys. What kind of music you guys listen to?
A lot of EDM.
I am also in the EDM, mostly because of Lyra.
Okay.
And I tend to swerve more towards the metal and progressive rock sort of things. Though I don't have no
I got
stranger to EDM either. And all its subgenres.
Fun.
Yeah, I'm more prog rock, garage rock, all that old grunge stuff.
Cool. Neff, what about you?
It
Music.
varies a lot. If it's got a good beat, I'll listen to it and enjoy it.
Okay. I'm pretty much in a similar camp. As long as the music doesn't sound like complete trash, it's I'll bop to it. But I know for myself, I definitely lean in the kind of trop house, or I guess God, what was the term for it? It's like outlaw metal, outlaw country.
Oh, that's getting into subgenre.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, because I'm not a fan of country. I'm not a fan of metal. I'm not a fan of hard like super hard rock or super hard metal or rapping. But for some reason, there's like this middle ground of country and metal with this hard, is it hard rock metal? Right? I think what's a band that comes to mind? Five Finger Death Punch. You've ever heard of those guys?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's like it's kind of rock and metal fused together, but anything that kind of gets your head bopping is what I'm into.
I have to look this up because I have no idea exactly what you're talking about. It sounds different.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
it's a bit of a niche, I think. It's a different sound for sure. Not Country Roads. Country Roads is good, but see, I like Country Roads because of Fallout. I don't like the original Country Roads nearly as much. Well,
It's good because it's a meme.
yeah, that might be it too.
Eclectic tastes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Nefeltanin,
Hi.
you're kind of like in a different reality where I probably would have, like in hindsight, right? I probably would have done what you did, which is just go into it super casually, not bother investing a whole lot of time and money and stressing over trying to make. It's the perfectionist in me. It's a struggle to deal with. But Neff is out there on Twitch. We played again very early on some Risk of Rain. Neff is a freaking god when it comes to Risk of Rain, if you guys didn't know.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that. It might be your 1 million or 1 billion lunar coins. I'm not sure, but
Well, that's probably part of it.
yeah. But Neff, obviously you're not in the same camp as all these artists here, and I'm not gonna put myself in
I
that
have
camp
no
either.
talent.
I don't know about that. I think one of the things I appreciate about Neff, especially, is that you throw Neff in any situation, she's gonna make it hers.
Well, maybe there is some truth to that, but no. I started streaming it. I think it was October 6th,
Okay.
and that was the week that my live TD model was delivered, And so when I got home on the weekend, I, no prep, installed OBS and then went live.
Nice.
And that was my first stream.
Into the frying pan.
Yeah.
Yep.
For those who hadn't seen it, Neff's I don't know if you're still using it, but I was cracked up popping into your channel and seeing just like a stock space background image.
I still do
I
have
love
that
that.
in the
Yeah.
background.
It
and
has a
everything.
watermark on it.
Right?
Oh no.
Oh, it's so good.
No, it's great.
I went to Google and I typed in space stock photo and I didn't like them, and so I added with watermark, and that was what I was looking for.
That's the keyword that did it. Nice. You know what I love too about Neff's channel? If I often miss it because half the time we're like, it's during collabs, and if we're doing collabs, like Neff's on here with me too. So, but a few collabs that we had done, you've actually spent some time to get, like, I remember the Pico Park one. You did this, God, what was it? You're rising up with that music. What was that?
My dumb little intro.
Yeah. Like,
I played like, I don't remember what the track was, but I played some like trailer movie music and just slowly rose from the
Yep.
bottom of the screen.
yep. And then the more recent one I saw is where you have all the recent space landing or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah, I've been doing that recently. That's the only thing that's evolved with my channel.
Yeah.
Is I've started putting NASA footage in the background.
And I thought you were joking initially, but like you're actually going in that space IRL, or at least that's the dream, right?
That is the intention. Yes.
Yeah. So for those that didn't know, Neff got goals, and it's legit to go to
Dregn,
space.
Are you suggesting that we're not all actually space people?
I mean, in
This guy,
spirit,
This guy.
in spirit, you guys are, but you know, credit where credit is due. Neff's striving for that IRL space VTuber life.
Yeah, my final stream, my face reveal will be when I'm in space.
Oh, geez, that would be a thing. I'll
That
be
would
there
be
for
so
that.
hype.
Right?
What a flex.
Man, that would be something. That would be something.
Yeah.
Well, so here's a question for y'all, because I know there's a wide variety of like what VTubers do out here, right? Like a bunch of people are doing it just for fun. I think it wouldn't be unreasonable to say, you know, in the back of your mind, if it kicked off, like that'd be nice, right? But what are you guys hoping to get out of all this? I mean, obviously, Vector, you chimed in a little bit that you were looking to try some things out. I mean, I'm much of the same, where I kind of left my previous cyber businessy role to try out some of this creative crap, because I needed a change of scenery from just nonstop corporate grinding BS. And yeah, becoming one of the most expensive streamer options seemed like a great idea, so that's what I did. But what about you guys? What's the dream here, aside from obviously learning and meeting people and expanding your skill set? Is there one, or is it just, this is fun, let's keep doing it?
Well, it is fun, that's for sure.
Oh, 100%.
And I think it's more fun than I thought it would be when I first got into it. And when I did first get into it, I said to myself, all right, we'll do this for like a year. So from the get-go, the Vector Spaceman show had a shelf life. And I'm not sure if it's still going to be just a year, but I think eventually it probably will come to a close.
That's a shame,
So
but
that's going to be that's going to be hard, because it has been such a great time, and I've found myself, you know, having such good relations with other people, contemporaries, if you will, like you guys and others. And yeah, I mean, this is the thing. There have been other online communities that I've been part of in the past that I have had no trouble just separating from. I've told you before, I used to be really big into MMOs and stuff like that, so guilds and things like that, they come and go. But as for live streaming, I don't know, it's felt a lot. The connection has felt a lot.
thanks for the well wishes, everyone. Dingle, I see you.
I've had a much better time interacting with all you guys, so I think it's going to be difficult if and when it does all come to an end. Well,
that's a shame, but I will say I'm in a very similar boat, but more on that later. But the rest of you, are you looking to keep this up as long as you can? Are you like Vector and myself, where you have a date in mind, or is it something that you're just doing as a side thing because it's just fun?
Okay, so if there's anything that I'm ambitious.
Yeah.
And I personally have a lot of plans for the three of us, and it's more of the matter of how much I can rope these two in. But
Of course.
yeah, so it's like oh, it'd be really cool if we could have like a Nova Swarm comic or some like online like animated like animatic videos or something, like expanding our story and using us as a medium to create art and like talk to people and like tell a story. But we're still sort of in the planning of all that, or like
figuring it out, learning. Yeah.
Phase. And like we always want to make sure that the three of us, we're all still like relatively happy with what we're doing and not just like, oh my god, this is stress. So if it does ever come to that point where it's like, oh my god, I can't handle like doing streaming and doing like our mission work, then like that would probably be like our end. But hoping it doesn't come to that.
Hopefully, yeah, when Lyra finally gets tired of Regal's punch it.
Oh, well, that's never gonna end, but like...
Unfortunately, no. If anything, it will get worse over time as my mind degenerates.
Just deteriorates over time, yeah. That's what the caffeine's for, though. It just tries to... You can do it, you can do it.
And all the tannins in coffee, it acts as a preservative, right?
There you go.
Well, Allie doesn't have to try that hard to rope me in. This is more of a... I don't know, an excuse to do creative things.
Hell yeah.
And to sort of make things again. My current mission work is nothing of the sort, unfortunately. So in a way, this is the VTubing and all the cute announcements and the art that goes along with it is more padding for the portfolio, if you will.
Heck yeah.
Well, harkening back to what I said earlier in the show about how much I like the Nova Swarm trio element and how much I think having, you know, those co-hosts that you can call upon to aid in your streams all the time. What a great idea I think that is. I think if there's any long-term future for Vector Spaceman and the Vector Spaceman show, it's probably going to be more permanent collabs or group work or something like that. If we could team up with other streamers permanently, sort of thing, in some sort of set group or something like that, I think I could see it lasting a little longer.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, keep us in mind in case things, you know, or in case you need a change of things, let's say.
YouTuber Space Coalition, let's go.
That's right. And you know what? I think the space tubers, if you want to call, or space themed virtual streamers, if you will. I think that's such a great and underrepresented sort of subgenre of virtual streaming. I really like what you guys have done. I like what all of us have done. I think, yeah, keeping that sort of theme up would be great.
Hell yeah. I've noticed a bit of a trend here where, I don't know, I'm going to stand by my past remarks that I think there's going to be like a sci-fi, what's the word? Renaissance coming back again. You know how trends tend to go up and down in waves, right? They come and go like fashion. I think sci-fi's slowly becoming back on the uptick. So we'll see. But Neff,
sci-fi really been out of?
You know what? Somebody said the same shit before, but you know, I'm not including superheroes in the sci-fi category because I don't know. I don't know. Superheroes.
Science fiction.
It's like we're gonna get into very specifics here, okay? Subgenres, like I said, or like someone said. But Neff, you, aside from trying to pay for your broke ass college life, what made you get into streaming?
That's a good question. So I've always liked to be funny. Right?
Sure.
I'm pretty sure that can be said for like 99% of streamers, but I've always liked that, and when VTubers became a thing, I was like, oh, that seems like it'd be fun because I don't like showing my face because it's ugly, but
jeez, the self-burn.
So when VTubers became a big thing, I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun. And then my friends, one of my really close friends, started VTubing. And I was like, hey, that's really cool. So then when I told them that I kind of wanted to start VTubing, they really pushed me for it. And they were like, you'd be great at it. And I was like, all right. And so then I did it. So that's why I started.
Here's a question. When was the last time you collabed with that great VTuber friend?
Sunday.
Okay. Online?
It wasn't on my channel, it was on theirs.
Oh, I see how it is.
I play
Okay.
in his D&D games every Sunday.
That's not Boop, is it?
Oh,
It is
Boopbot?
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
fine.
Boopbot.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
he's a great guy.
I'm actually trying to get Boop involved in something. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah,
he is a fantastic guy. He's really awesome.
Seems like a great one. Anyone who's a big fan of D&D, which I think all of you, for the most part, are, at least now. And a few of you guys actually have some history with it. But you know what? We're not going to talk about D&D yet. We got D&D talk coming up later in the show, so we'll save it for later.
We've got a schedule here.
We got a schedule. I know this is my freaking corporate day brain, just unable to escape the grind of making schedules and doing things in such a structured way. It's bad. It's bad. I need to unwind from it.
Well, at least you don't have to tell anybody. Per my last email, we're
Oh,
doing
God.
it this time.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had to do one of those. Thank God. But we don't need to get into IRL tonight. Let me see here. Oh yeah, so actually with Neff and Boop coming up, here's another question I wanted to ask each of you guys. What's Peter, no one will read my email. Peter, I thought you were the one that sends emails, but that aside, for the group here. Are there any streamers that you have either met or like recommending one out of many is always kind of tricky, right? But you guys must have seen or met someone, much as, you know, if someone asks me, hey, what are you doing? I'll tell them my VTuber deal. And then if they're like, oh yeah, what are you doing? And I say we do collabs and we jump on with other people. You guys are pretty much the names that are, front of the line who I bring up. Do you have anything like that for other channels that you've seen, people you enjoy, people who have good personalities? I mean,
like our favorite other channels sort of thing?
Yeah, other channels that you might recommend. Maybe they're less known. Maybe I've never heard of them. I'd love to know about them.
The shout out corner right
Let's
here?
go, dude.
Absolutely, we could drop some names. All right, so first there's Monayu26 over on Twitch. She sounds too good to be real, frankly. Turtle themed virtual streamer. Everybody go check her out. I think everybody or most everybody here knows Alpine Showtime.
Yeah.
Alpine Showtime is doing everything I want to do, and he's doing it way better. Like, he's just that good.
Alpine's insane. Well, and I'll say Manayu is, she's like comfort mommy. You know, there's that meme of like Dami mommy. Like, I don't know what it is about Manayu. She's just comfortable, like, to just hang out in her chat. And then Alpine, like his gig is like he's like a Frankenstein, right? And like a mad scientist, but he just
so creative with the way that he implements software. So good, like doing all sorts of different, like he's just trial and error everything, but it always comes off so professional. I'm like, man, like this is an intentional troll, but it, from his point of view, it's probably like, oh, I just tried that. I wouldn't know. Alpine showed off something today. He showed off something today, which was just so smart. It's an interview setup that he's got going. Yes, where it flips, it does the 180, and it puts the whoever's in the foreground into shadow. So it flips back and forth like a A/B camera sort of setup. I had wanted to do yes, it's so good. I'd wanted to do the exact same thing, but my idea for it was, okay, I'm gonna have to double rig my model with a back view. Like, that was my first thought, was to put in that much work for it. But his is so much simpler, so much cleaner. I just love it.
Yeah, Alpine, Alpine's a wealth of inspiration and knowledge for sure. And actually, Novastorm, you guys, I think you guys actually know Alpine a little more personally, don't you? Or is that my imagination?
Not like IRL-ish,
Yeah.
but we have like a really good sort of like mutual inspiration like relationship.
Nice.
So he actually said like recently that what we do is what he wants to do, but with
Oh,
one
jeez.
person.
Nice.
So we were just like, thank you, but also please take care of yourself.
Yeah.
This is a lot of work, even with the three of us.
But you know what? He's almost kind of done that already, because he's got the multiple models that he'll bring onto the same show with voice modulators. He'll do the voices for all of them. The guy's insane. If I didn't do all of my own live 2D work, I would want Alpine to do mine, if I could afford it.
That's true. That's true. Alpine, I don't think Alpine does commission work though, does he?
He does. He's just really full, so he has closed his commissions since then.
Fun.
I think he did at least one of the McDog brothers, Preston McDog
he did,
and Harvey McDog.
Harvey McDog's recent rigging, I believe.
Very cool.
But yeah, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. He's so good. Check him out, everybody.
Super talented. What about you guys, Nova Swarm? Anyone you'd like to shout out? Anyone that has criminally low view count or sub count that's like, hey, go check this guy out?
I mean, we were gonna say Alpine Showtime probably as well.
Okay, well, to be a little bit different, I've really enjoyed Phantasmagoria's streaming. They have a lovely voice, and coming from someone who had considered, or I guess in like a fantasy way, considered voice acting, it's really nice to hear.
How do you pronounce that again? Phantasmagoria?
Phantasmagoria, but they go by Taz.
Gloria.
Okay.
That's so smart.
Very neat.
They recently had a model update to their PNG tuber.
Yeah.
And they recently hit 100 followers on Twitch.
Nice.
And I guess to add on to that, because there are three of us, we've been collabing a lot with Space Buffoon.
Yeah, you guys do the pretty much weekly Monster Hunter.
Oh, yes. And they're just very, I don't know, just, what do you say? Like one of the bros, but you know, like as an umbrella term.
They're a clown.
Sort of down for anything.
Yeah.
Like whenever we're like, oh, are you free like this day to collab for Monster Hunter? They're like, yeah, just let me know. And I'm like, okay, thank you.
Well, we're gonna be trying
Buffy's so fantastic. Yeah.
Buffy's great. Buffy's great. Just he's a clown upside down playing games in his little spaceship, and
And those Microsoft Paint illustrations that Buffy does.
Oh,
so
right.
good, so
Are
great.
absolutely charming. Something about their style is just
Yeah,
so
really
cute.
good.
Brings a smile to my face.
You can actually use Sai.
Oh, can I shout out another one, Dregn?
absolutely.
Just this little, unheard of streamer nobody really pays attention to. I believe it's pronounced Nefeltanine, something like that.
Dang,
Bro, I'm right here.
bruh. Yeah, well, Neff, what about you? I'm sure you are in more people's chat than I'm sure I'm aware of. Like, who do you watch?
Busy.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Vector. I don't know. Can I shout out Jammy, even though she's gonna be on later?
That you sure can, Jamie.
I really like Jammy's streams. Jammy is a great person. I mean, I already shouted out Bootbot. Castelia is also very cool. Like,
Yeah.
she's I like how she actually like knows what she's doing when it comes to the game. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it really.
For those
Many
that,
people.
yeah, for those that didn't see it, oh, Jammy's in the chat. Hey. But yeah, we got a
Hi,
little
Jammy.
video.
Jammy.
Jammy.
Jammy has been summoned. But yeah, I put on Space Buffoon's little summer camp video for those who haven't seen it. Space Buffoon
So adorable.
does these little, again, adorable little art style. Is it MS Paint though? I don't know. But
Oh, you know what? I think it's probably.
I watched one of Space Buffoon's art streams, and they use Sai, as far as I know.
okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, but there's music that accompanies it. It came out so well. It's just good vibes all around, and Jammy's much of the same. And Castelia, I think, is also. I don't watch Castelia too frequently, but she's a very chill vibe, if I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
To sort of add on to Jammy's shout out, I have this core memory of Jammy being like one of the first space VTubers that I actually interacted with on Twitch.
Nice.
And I found Jammy's stream just like sort of browsing through like VTuber tags like on Twitch, and then was like, I love your model. And then Jammy, like the day that I interacted with Jammy was actually my debut day. And I wasn't like expecting like, oh my god, this person's like gonna shout me out, but Jammy was like, oh my god, you're having your debut today? What? That's a big deal. You should. Are you excited? Are you nervous? Just that's such a wholesome like memory to me.
Yeah, Jammy's just wholesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Jammy is just wholesome. I think that's the word for her. Speaking of one of our,
I could shout out VTubers all day.
you really could. There's so many. Every month there's like 3 new ones. Everyone's always doing a debut. I think summertime I feel like I've seen like a dozen people announcing they have a birthday coming up too. So it's
You would think that this would be the season to see more people sprouting up.
Yeah.
Summertime, people are off school, that sort of thing.
Exactly. But it is wild. I came into the streaming space knowing how saturated it was, but I didn't realize how saturated it was.
I did not. I got in here. I never watched anything beforehand. Yeah. I just only loosely knew about like big groups. So I was like, oh, I've never seen a space named one before. Let's go for that. Right. And then it turns out that there's 20 billion of them. So look at that.
More and more every day. But after highlighting this Buffy's little reel here, I also wanted to bring up this one before we hit our first hour kind of break here. But Nova Swarm, you guys, tell me a little bit about behind the scenes of this video. The Stars and Hearts back in February. The little Valentine's Day special.
Ellie, you want to take this?
So this actually started as a joke between me and sort of Mega Nando, who you'll see in the video here.
Yeah.
Just to shout him out real quick as well. Nando is like such a comfort streamer to like me. I feel very personal, like charismatic guy.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, what if there was like a VTuber dating game? And then after that, I was like, I feel like I could make that possible. I have the skill set to like plan something like this. So like a week after like the idea came up, I started messaging like any of the VTubers that I felt we were like close with at the time, and I was like, hey, I have this like Valentine's visual novel dating sim game that I want to make like a fake trailer for. Are you guys in? And this was like before Christmas or something like that, or like on Christmas or New Year's or something like that.
Yep.
And I knew I had to plan in advance because of how many assets we needed for this.
Oh yeah.
So for those that were artists, I was like, okay, well, here's the uniform. Tell me like about yourself to have for our like little profiles that you see in the video, and I'll take all those and put together at the end. And then for anyone that didn't make their own model, I drew them in a little uniform.
What up, Gil?
Including Dragon.
And it turned out so well, so well.
Yeah, perfect timing.
Such a good video.
It is great, and it is out on your YouTube. I think it's the first one that you guys pushed out on your YouTube. But I keep an eye on your YouTube channel. I do like how Ellie has started to slowly put out some stuff. So guys, go check out Nova Swarm's YouTube. I know it's not easy, is it?
No.
Yeah, not to mention when I go back to watch this video, because I'm just sick like that. But the it's 4 minutes long, and with how much transitions, how many motions, how many elements, I imagine this took you guys at least a good 30, 40, 60 hours to make.
Well, to be fair, Ellie actually put together the whole video. I helped with like some assets, like the outfits for the three of us.
So Ellie.
What a machine, Ellie.
Yeah, and I
Rick
believe
did the backgrounds. He made the backgrounds, and then I just sort of colored them or painted over them.
Yeah, I like the classroom there you saw. I 3D modeled the whole classroom, and then Ellie did a paint over of it.
Nice. That always
Jeez.
helps. That's something I've noticed because I've gotten some sci-fi artwork done, and I see the benefit of understanding how 3D modeling kind of saves you from having to get all the perspectives and angles and dimensions right. You can kind of just get it done in 3D. You know it's good. You pick your camera view, and then you just trace over or quickly sketch over. Seems so much easier.
Same amount of time, though.
Yeah, same amount of time, true. Fair.
But here's the thing, though. That video is just such a great example of pushing the medium into something new and fun. That's just great stuff. I think, you know, we're...
Oh, sorry, Vector, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, when you see most of us, I should say most of us, because it's not all of us, but most of us, two-dimensional on the screen, I think that taking advantage of that for things like, animatics, things like, you know, little presentations like that, basically, there's so much you could do with limited animation, but still doing stuff like skits, specials, presentations, all sorts of cool stuff that I think, more people should be taking advantage of. And the Valentine's presentation was such a great example of that.
Right. All right, guys. Well, we're coming up actually on an hour already. That flew by faster than I thought.
Good golly.
Yeah. So let's, we're going to be taking like a 5-minute break here as we see if our next group is ready to jump in. It's going to be the biggest group we have on at one point in time. So yeah, we'll be back in 5 minutes, everyone, and hang tight. And thanks for swinging by. All right, we're back, everybody. Thank you for hanging out. And JC, I see you. Thank you for the happy birthday. Kilvin, you as well. We're bringing in a few more guests. So in addition to our previous little crew here, we're bringing in Galaxy Jamwitch, Jammy over here, which everyone had nothing but the nicest things to say about.
No, everyone was saying such nice things, and like while I was watching the stream earlier, I was just like full on like super embarrassed. So I was like, everyone's complimenting me.
Okay,
What
you
do I
guys,
do?
now let's say mean things about Jammy.
Yeah,
Roast me.
that's jammy.
Jam roast right now.
Jam roast, let's go.
No, you gotta toast.
Roast that toast.
Oh, even better, yes.
Jammy is like the best DM ever that like I have unrealistic expectations of everyone else. How dare.
No.
We call it the Jammy effect.
The jammy effect, I love it.
She sent me a cursed Funko Pop once.
Cursed what? A cursed what?
Oh my god.
Oh, little
Okay,
Funko Pop?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Funko Pops.
God, fuck those things.
What's
One
wrong
time
with-
she hacked my email and stole my social insurance number.
Oh, you don't need it. That's overrated.
Yeah, it's under my control now, Vector. I'm still
How am
waiting
I-
on my payment for you to get it back.
How am I going to get a job? Wait a
And-
minute, are we live again?
We are live again.
Welcome back to the super special Dregn Durant birthday special show.
Welcome back, welcome back. Yes, so Jammy is our first guest for the next segment where we're going to be touching a little bit about our Pico pain experience. But we also have a couple others. Zenobia Noether.
I don't have any
Nothing. Okay,
good welcome for this.
What I do. It's the prettiest bounty hunter in the galaxy. You can find her over on Twitch as well. And Zenobia has joined us a few times, maybe a couple times, on our Friday night firefights with Vector. I think you've played with
Pew,
Regal,
pew.
and another guest we'll have on later, Hero King Soul, who's lurking about in the chat, bullying everyone he can. And we also have... Go ahead.
Oh, nothing.
All right.
I'm
And
sorry.
we also have Buffy, Space Buffoon.
You almost forgot who I am.
No, I got confused because
That was
my
it.
brain was like, Space Buffoon is the channel, Buffy's the name, but
okay.
Buffy,
Buffy Buffoon.
yeah, is it Buffy Buffoon? I'm pretty sure it's Space Buffoon. Am I?
And we got here, hold on, let me check. It's Space Buffoon.
I had a brain fart. It was a brain fart. Is it Buffy Buffoon?
I mean,
I always thought the name was just Buffoon and Buffy was like a way to shorten it.
Yeah, I don't think you really had like a formal name, right? First, last. I kind of set it up that way on the stream, but
yeah, that's correct. Oh yeah, I'm straight up Buffy Buffoon.
Yeah.
On the thing.
you're a thing now. It's a thing now.
Yep, I'm incorporating it into my lore. That I don't have a name, but I do appreciate the name that was granted to me by my friends. It's
Oh.
I cherish it forever now.
Nice.
The
Buffy
streamer formerly known as Space Buffoon.
is now Buffy the Space Buffoon.
It's about to get silly up in here, you guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome
I see,
to the circus.
it's your birthday. You hired a clown. Here I am.
Oh heck yeah!
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I think
Thank
he
you.
hired a bunch
Oh,
of
did
those.
I just hear a little squeak?
Oh
What
yeah,
was that?
you three didn't get to sing Happy Birthday to Dragon at the top of the show. Should we do it again?
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
we should
Please,
do it again.
please no.
Yeah, let's do it again. We'll do
Oh my
this
God.
every segment, every single segment.
More
We'll sing
time
everything.
zones.
Come on.
Wait and see.
All right, ready?
Oh my God!
Three.
It's happening.
Dragon, count us down.
All right, 3,
Oh, yeah.
2, 1, go!
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Absolute madness! Absolute madness! My ears
And then, well,
And many more.
and many more. Oh gosh! It's just gonna get progressively more and more chaotic.
I love that idea.
Amazing, amazing. Get your kook out of here, man.
So,
Tech W's.
real quick, I was accidentally running late because I had set an alarm, but I ignored the alarm.
Nice.
I was taking a little nap, and I was having a dream that I was already here. I was already in the Discord call.
Oh my god, I've had those so many times.
I'm like, I'm clear. I'm here. Like, I don't need to wake up. I'm good. I'm at Dragon's party.
Oh,
and then
man.
it's like, suddenly one person came in and they're like, I'm here with my pet cat. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And then someone came in like, I'm here with my pet alligator. And I'm like, I'm starting to think I'm not at Dragon's real party.
Man, Buffy has like VTubers living rent free in his head. It's Jammy's there with her cat taking the power out. You got Nep the Florida man over there with his gators. I will shout out Nep though, bringing Nep up. So Nep the Florida man, haven't had a chance to collab with them much, but they hopped on one of the Among Us collabs, and he occasionally will pop in the Discord. I see him in other people's chats. He's in everybody's comments.
I see Nep all over the place.
Yeah,
too.
and he's good energy. He's a funny guy if you give him a chance, and as long as you don't listen to him in his recommendations on how to win Among Us.
Wait, let me see if I understand. Someone made a VTuber based on being a Florida man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
and it's pretty
The
incredible.
Florida man.
The Florida man.
Oh my god.
There is no second. It's just Nep.
Yeah. All those headlines, they're him.
Oh my! All the headline. Yeah, it's just him. He's taking all the credit.
Yeah.
But this group here, for those of you guys new to the channel and stopping by checking things out, we all, with the exception of one final member who I'm gonna throw them on the screen just because.
Rest in Pomato.
Rest in Pomato.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me move her down here. She's not going to be here. Pomato Master is a fairly recent, I think, 2-3 months in the scene now. But as we were talking about earlier,
Is it that long?
It hasn't been that long. It's probably only been like a month. But,
yeah, for sure.
But as we were saying earlier, how like every month there's always someone new making their debut or switching over from live streaming to becoming a VTuber, and Pomato was one of them. And as you guys all know, I'm not going to hesitate to slip in your DMs and be like, hey, you're cool. You want to hang out with some fellow sci-fi space nerds? And we make stuff happen. So
that's the thing. Anybody out there who's considering getting into virtual streaming as a space-themed VTuber, you're going to have to deal with us. You're going to be associated with us.
Yep.
It's non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
You're going to get dragged into it, so you might as well come to terms with it now.
I'm going to Dregn you in here.
Oh.
Exactly.
I'm leaving.
You're leaving.
Jesus Christ.
At least I didn't have to.
Yeah.
You don't understand. I've waited 6 months for this joke. But with that, let's switch back over to the event stage and get some of this Pico pain, just peak gameplay on the screen.
Oh, goody.
I was there, Dragon.
You were there.
I was there 3,000 years ago.
I was there.
I have flashbacks to this day.
Pico Park massacre.
Oh, man.
Are we just gonna watch us wait for everyone to connect for like 30 minutes?
So here's a. So I got a story about the Pico collab and the aftermath of it.
We all do.
Yeah, well, true. It is one of those collabs that never again. First of all, right? I think we all agree there. Well,
Oh, you don't want to try it again?
You know what you should do, Dragon? For this little part of the show.
What's that?
Pull up Neff's review that she left on Steam.
Oh, no.
You did, didn't you?
Oh, it's a good review.
Wait, you did? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's an actual review.
Yeah, I left a review on the game.
But not only that, I'm pretty sure like a third of everyone who played it refunded the game immediately after too. So
I was over the 2-hour line and they wouldn't give me the money back, but I tried.
But at the end of the collaboration, right, I think it was Pomato was like, okay, who's going to go in and clip this shit and get all the disconnects? I will tell you guys, I spent about a good 36 hours working on that.
Oh.
Before my software kept crashing on me, not saving my progress. So I made a drastic decision to give a certain company the finger. And I went through 3 other variant kind of public open source, video editors, and they are all kind of shit because half of them are all like online only now. It's interesting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, cloud service. Ooh.
But not only that, I will say, editing the Pico episode was probably more painful than playing it.
Imagine having to watch it over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep. 3 hours compressed down to. I tried to get it down to 10 minutes. I got it down to an hour. It wasn't happening in time. So unfortunately, you get the playback of our struggles here instead. But
the entire game and everything related to it is just guards.
Right? Oh man. And I was telling the others earlier, I don't know if the ones jumping on for this segment heard it, but the other time I put special in the title of my stream was during the Pico collab. So I was like, man, what's this stream gonna become? But so far so good. So far so good. But yeah, so Buffy, I know once upon a time I had gandered a very brief moment of you playing this game, and I was like, oh, that looks like a fun, struggling, good time. And clearly I didn't watch enough because you had just nothing but warnings once we were in. Like, I'm concerned.
Right. You approach me, you're like, hey, I watched you play this very relaxing, chill game with friends, and I'm like, did you really though?
Yeah.
Because it was anything but.
It blows my mind though, because I've seen people play in 3s, I've seen people play in 4, no issues. I saw you play it briefly, not really any issues, at least when I saw it. And then and I was like, you know what, we'll just cap it out at 8 people. Why not? This sounds like a great idea. We'll get the Pico Space Gang together, we'll play some Pico Park. It's such a simple game, we shouldn't have any frame or internet issues. Yeah, well.
Oh, boy.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
It was the greatest collab we've ever had.
It is the most memorable.
Arguably, yes.
I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I didn't try to refund it. I like Pico Park. Okay, controversial hot take opinion. I like Pico Park. I think.
Thanks for coming on the show, Space Buffoon. We're all out of time.
We'll see you around.
Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Where's my cane?
When I played it, like you said, I did play it with only 2 other friends.
Yeah.
And so, like, the stage requirements to like push this and do that, it was less. You had to like, oh, one of you go over here, one of you go over there, we're done. But it was so many of us that you can see it in the video right now. Like, it's so many of us that we're trying to get through this tunnel, and there's just no room.
The latency too.
Yeah.
Think what we tried to do though. 8 players across at least 3 time zones.
Yeah.
Across at least 4, I think, different countries.
We
were pretty ambitious.
Yeah, with more than 2 browser sources too.
Yeah.
That's what else it did.
It's slowly blowing my mind because I really like the idea of getting a bunch of people together, having, because I think one of the most entertaining things I've seen from the VTubing space are collaborations. It's when you get people together, you see how they get along, you see the banter that they have, and you enjoy a little game. Part. Yeah, it's absolutely my favorite part. And God, I feel so betrayed by this game. It looks so simple. It's like, why?
But you know what? It's a miracle that we were able to finish any of those stages.
That is true.
Pat on the back to you guys. Good job.
That is true.
Sure.
Yeah.
Rest assured, Dregn, I think it was very memorable and iconic. Like,
I agree.
It wasn't enjoyable to some, but it wasn't just like a whatever forgettable experience. We can all agree on that, right?
Well, we have 2 of
never forget
definitely.
No matter how hard I try, I will never forget that stream.
Yeah. And I was gonna say we even have 2 of the prime suspects that were out of the 3 that were struggling hard, Jammy and Neff. You guys were disconnecting left and right.
Oh my god, yep.
I've never been more frustrated in a game. That was a dark day.
Pico is the sole reason why Neff recently got a GPU upgrade.
Probably.
Just never
Well,
again.
actually, it was probably DMC, but
Oh, that could be.
So, fun fact: there's actually my desk like dips down from how hard I hit my desk during that stream, and I did that for comedic
Wow.
effect. I did that to be funny, just to clarify.
Yeah.
But actually, it does like dip in one part now, so it's kind of funny.
Wow. That compressed IKEA wood, is that what's up?
It's been through worse.
I'd say this
Well,
game
that's
left
great.
the
Now you can
version
just
of
use it to hold snacks.
Really? Oh my god.
A desk bowl, yes.
Well,
I think
another.
it's fair to say that we've all got Pico traumatic space disorder.
Yeah, yeah. But I will agree.
I'm on the opinion, like with Space Buffoon, that I actually enjoyed it, but also I didn't have as many disconnects as everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember very fondly Ellie just doing her best to try to save us while we're all tethered together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, it was a funny
Thanks to Zeki.
stream.
It was great.
Right? 10 out of 10.
Just,
Would do
you
again.
know, it kind of sucked. It was funny because
Your mileage may vary.
because it sucked.
But yeah, like Buffoon and Ellie, as much shit as we talk about it, I did thoroughly enjoy it. I'll remember it. If you can get past the first hour of just us having connection issue and trying to figure out how to get into the lobby together with all 8 of us, the rest of it actually wasn't that bad. So
It's true.
yeah.
Like the mini games and like the actual game design of it is actually pretty fun and interesting.
Yeah.
So clean. Yeah.
But connection is
The connection
more so the
was the
enemy.
issue. Yep. The netcode in particular was horrendously bad. It's definitely like some kind of peer-to-peer, but well, aside from Pico pain experiences, part of this segment, I actually wanted to hear what you guys have been doing with your kind of collaborations in the community. It might bleed into kind of the second half of the hour when we bring a couple others on, but like I know, Nova Storm was talking about how they play, Monster Hunter with Buffy. Jammy is doing a big D&D thing, but we'll talk about D&D later.
Oh god.
Zenovia, we actually did this 100% orange juice collab not long ago with a few of us
That was
here.
fun to watch.
Yeah, that was a good chaotic Mario Party-esque time. And
I wanted to
Especially from-
that thing.
Oh my gosh, those seagulls, man.
the seagulls, right?
Those things were ruthless.
Absolutely ruthless. It was surprisingly fun though. I enjoyed 100% orange juice quite a bit. It's I wish the camera was a bit more manually controllable, but outside of that, it was really like Mario Party, but where Mario Party just frustrates me with nonstop RNG. This one you roll dice, so you can't really be mad at dice, right? That's it goes against the laws of nature.
You've never been mad at dice?
I
thought you played D&D.
Listen.
Aren't dice just RNG?
Yes. but I run games. I run games. I rarely play games, and I am. Anyways.
The visuals of dice, they calm you.
Right, there we go. It's
Especially if they're pretty dice.
take
Yeah.
the wheel dice.
You're just here for the aesthetics then, I see.
Maybe your dice are random.
Neff over here with the weighted dice. But yeah, what else? So Vector, I know you run the Friday night firefights, right? Nova
It's
Swarm.
been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a little while. Nova Swarm, you guys are doing your Friday community night still, right? Or has that been
No,
more
we've
of a
actually
buffoon time?
We've stopped that for now because it was actually getting a little bit stressful to like think of like activities like every single Friday. And we were supposed to do them every 2 weeks. But a lot of the leading members of like our observatory community, we've had people sick, we've had people go on vacation. So it equals out to no one actually having time to run community stuff. But should we all be in proper health, we'll probably pick it back up at some point.
Nice. And go for it.
What was I even gonna say? Oh no, I forgot. I'll come back to it.
All right. You're not ready yet. Zenobia, I actually have a fond memory watching you and Yusubi playing. What was it? Apex. You guys played Apex together.
We did a few Apex collabs.
Yeah.
It's so fun to play around with.
That was a lot of fun.
Play with. I don't even know what the expression is, but yeah, I've been like trying to network with other VTubers that I find like. I don't even know how to explain it, honestly. I just like find whoever wants to be my friend and just ask them to talk and stuff. I am very bad at it, honestly.
I've noticed though. I mean, because I've been following Zenobia for a little bit. I think you first showed up in my channel, and then I took a look, and then I saw, you know, in the past month or two, some big changes Zenobia made to her channel. Looks, you know, way more. Looks more. God, what's the word? Obviously, there's an improvement. We'll put it there. But yeah, Zenobia, seeing you kind of doing some outreach and talking to people, it's been exciting for me to see, at least, because you've invited me to the most recent one, which was another 100% Orange Juice collab, but it was for your birthday, which was actually 4 days ago. So happy birthday, late to you again.
Happy birthday, Zenobia.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
Should we sing
Did
happy
you want us
birthday
to
for
sing you a
Zenobia?
song?
Dragon can join in.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I'm down. I'm down.
Let's do it.
Oh no.
All right, Zenobia, you got to give us the
Zenobia,
countdown.
count us down.
Eh?
Do it.
Wait, what?
3, 2, 1.
Count us down.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zenobia. Happy birthday to you. Let's go.
More.
Yeah.
How was that? Did that sound good?
Thank you so much.
Zenobia had no
Love
idea
it.
she was walking into that.
Oh yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
go ahead.
No.
All right. I want to make sure you guys get your voices in here. Come on. But Buffy, are you?
Right.
Do you know what you were gonna say earlier?
Yes, I remembered.
Yeah, what's up?
I wanted to say this this like a couple minutes ago about the space VTubers. Like I tried before everything. I tried to like reach out to other clown VTubers and other like general like VTubers, and you know it was kind of tough to connect. But the moment just the space VTuber like radius just was like, oh okay, yeah, come here, you're a family now.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're great.
You.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Also, way back, I had this Discord server. I still have it. It's there. Where I tried to plan like a collab every weekend. So it was like Among Us almost every week, and it did get like I did also just find myself way too exhausted to plan things out. And I love how like around that time when I was like, I want to plan more collabs with friends, but I'm so tired. And then Dregn DMs me like, hey, you want to be part of this collab? And I'm like, Dregn, you saved me.
Oh, the timing.
Yeah,
Nice.
Come here, Dregn. Give me a hug.
Give me a hug. You got my hug. We had our little it was a corner of comfort, right? Or something like that back in our Among Us days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then it was ruined.
Yeah, you ruined it, but
was it me? I don't know about that.
It was you.
It was totally me. I'm pretty sure I stabbed you in the back so fast the next game.
See, big, enormous collabs like that, I feel, are great in moderation.
Yeah.
I really like the more personal ones, like especially the ones Buffy does with Banicula or with Slamantha. Those are always fun to watch.
Yeah.
You get a lot more when you got just a few people.
Right. It's true.
And definitely
I mean,
less of a pain to try and coordinate.
Definitely. It's it just makes sense, you know. You can handle a smaller group better than a much bigger one. It is hilarious and chaotic.
Man,
But if you want to just like, let's just slow down and vibe, then you might want to go for a smaller group.
Yeah,
That kind of thing.
I agree. I did that. I mean, as much as I'm out here trying to get 4+ player collabs going, it is difficult because scheduling is always an issue, and the more people you have, obviously that's a big headache. And then
Why can't everyone just be free when I'm free?
I know, right? Time zones? Come on, man. You're living in the future. Like, you should be ready all the time.
Plans, then cancel them.
What is this?
It's only 7 in the morning for you.
Right?
It must be 9 o'clock at night. Jeez.
Man, what do you mean you don't speak English? Como está?
Figure it out.
But I will say that having just one person to collab with, so having like a two-person collab, is super cozy. You get the third person, and then sometimes I feel like the third becomes a bit of a third wheel, right? Because unless you guys are all super close, which is actually one of the reasons why I'm kind of... Gosh, I think I used envious in the past. I don't know if envious is the right word, but like Nova Swarm, right? Like the 3 of you are all pretty tight. So you know, you get 3 of you guys on the stream. It doesnn't matter if it's like a watch along or an actual play along or a community. It's like you guys chill together, and that's super cool. I like that.
Well, that's sort of because, like, even if we weren't on stream, we would be chilling together off stream anyway.
Yeah.
So we figure we're sort of like...
Just business as usual.
Yeah, we're just sort of like opening our living room or our lounge door to everyone else to also chill with us.
Yeah.
And like Neff, the other day when we did our Valheim collab, which here's our beautiful house that we made, but I really enjoyed that. Just like the one-on-one with Neff, actually building something and exploring, and watching just her have to run back naked to get her gear back was great. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
What
when
was
it
our
comes to
sentence?
collabs, I tend to prefer that sort of one-on-one thing.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't do as many like big group things because, as everyone's saying, that gets really stressful. So I don't.
Well, somehow we've managed to rope you into a few of them.
Well, I mean, if someone reaches out and they're like, join this collab, I say yes. But I think I've reached out maybe one time ever to collab with someone.
Fun. Collabs are definitely something that I see the stress of it. I always see on like Twitter, right? People asking like, hey, let me make a announcement kind of friendship post, right? I don't know what else to call them. And God, they seem like they would get such mixed results, right? Because in my eyes...
I think those are just downright dangerous sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to get out of that.
Whereas I feel like the better way, in my opinion at least, is to, you go check out someone's stream, see what kind of vibe they are, and then if you like it, you hit them up. Maybe they check you out, and if they're down to hang, then collabs happen. You hang. Ideally, that evolves into maybe some chit-chat offline too, right? Because if you're just doing it on stream only, then it's kind of shallow in my head. So try to pester people offline, make friends. Yeah. And I think there's also a big responsibility on the party who is not demanding friendship to also be like, hey, I'm sorry, but turn people down that you don't want in your group, right? Because there's a very, with how saturated the space is, just streaming in general, VTubing being a pretty small subset of that. I don't know, what would you guys think? I think it's a smaller
niche
subset.
within a niche.
Yeah, right. But I don't know, some of the behavior and some of the revealed DMs that you see people posting, it's like, you gotta be careful. It is the internet.
It's hard to fathom that there are people like that.
Yeah. There was
Sounds so scary.
right. There was a tiefling, if you're a D&D fan, that posted recently and actually blew up recently. They got the attention of some D&D community channels that started kind of reposting.
I might actually know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Oh, yeah.
Melissa.
She's been all over
Yep.
D&D Reddit as well.
Yep, she's blowing up, but she made a post recently. It's like, hey, I got my first unsolicited dick pic. It's like, I imagine you girls also have it a little different than us guys, right? Because what guy is going to be out there sending dick pics to us? But I have gotten the...
I just got an idea. Neff, send me a dick pic. Maybe we can blow up.
Yeah, let me get one real quick.
But yeah, I do think you build relationships by making contact, not by standing on top of a skyscraper asking for it, right? I think there's a process there, and I think most reasonable people understand that. But
honestly, it sounds not that much different from
real life
IRL dating.
Oh, absolutely not. Well, I don't know about dating. That's become something new, I think. But meeting people, meeting people.
No, I don't know. I
no idea.
Back when I started and I was like reaching out to everyone's like DMs to see if they wanted to like hang sometime, it did straight up feel. I had that tension, like I was asking them out on a date. I'm like, you and me, a little bit of Among Us. How does that sound?
A little Among Us
and chill.
Yeah.
Like talks with me.
Let's make new friends with betrayal.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, speaking of making friends, I think we're about half an hour in, so I think let's open it up. See if Hero King Soul is still here, because I think he's the. Yeah, with Tomato.
We're taking calls on the Dragon line.
With Tomato out. People? I know. We were just talking about it. But the good news is we don't actually have any sort of game running in the background, so this is fine. Oh, and then Soul obviously had to just make things difficult by updating his graphic.
Updating his reactive.
Oh my.
I'm sorry. Here,
this guy.
What's up? Hero King Soul.
Dude, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'll be right back. Give me a second.
He's talking, we can hear him.
And then he goes and leaves right after.
He just mutes it.
Wow.
Well, we'll talk about Soul while we're waiting for him to come back. But I wanted to invite Soul, and the kind of half-hour segment here was really just kind of expanding more on kind of collabs and the community and what people are up to and who we're meeting and how we're meeting.
Did you see the dick pic? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Soul! What? I can't believe you posted that.
Oh my God.
Can't believe it.
Nixon.
Can't believe it. Oh, it's so wrinkly too.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
I think it has to be plus titties. Sorry.
Did you really have to do that?
I've been tempted to leave twice now.
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh my.
But I'm
what
gonna.
If I update it as my PNG?
Please don't.
Updating it, bro, please.
Okay. Sorry, I just had a call as soon as I was unmuted. But hello, everyone. Are we singing happy birthday again?
Oh God.
Yes, we are.
Is it happening?
Yes.
I mean, we got it at this point.
Yes, I'm down.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Sing it.
Oh
my God. Oh my God. Oh, I'm dying.
And many more.
Oh my God, it's trying to like ritualistic satanic chanting.
I swear, if you play it backwards, there might be a message.
I mean, you have no idea. I'm listening to the stream and the Discord call. I could just heard like.
Oh, you're torturing yourself.
It just do that.
Man.
Well, you might actually summon a demon.
So, yeah, Jammy,
Somebody
maybe.
out there, make sure you get the super cut of all the birthday songs from tonight.
Oh yeah, and layer them on top of each other.
Yes,
Yep.
I was gonna say.
Yep, same big brain.
Just upload a clip
You know
of
those
us
old
in the
memes where
middle
they
of
would
that.
put the same video like over and over again until it eventually gets to like the thousands? They should do that.
Yeah.
Happy
Oh my
birthday.
God.
Wow.
By the way, before we
Not a bad idea.
Cammy and Luna said happy birthday, Dragon.
They did. Well, thank you guys if you're out there. Cammy and Luna, I thought about inviting them, but we've only done like 2 collabs together. So
They are streaming right now.
They
so
are.
Yeah, that's why I
Busy people.
Yeah.
in there instead.
Yeah, Cammy Rollins and Mezzaluna, they are a chaotic duo. I enjoy their company quite a bit. They're very chill otherwise. They be chilling and they be vibing and they be bullying with no bully. So they keep Hero King in check. Yeah, it's good.
No, they don't. What the hell? Good. Nobody can keep me in check. I'm a menace.
Offended.
You got to understand, much like my background, it's all connected, okay? We be orbiting, we be making paths in the skies.
I mean, The last person that tried keeping me in check was Jammy and Fall Guys, and she ended up freaking getting eliminated for that.
Jammy has jammy
That's what you
fingers,
get.
okay? It's hard for her to keep anything in check.
Yeah, honestly.
Everything just slips out of my hands, man.
Yeah.
Can't blame me.
Maybe you should use peanut butter instead.
Ooh.
Oh god.
Peanut butter and Galaxy Jamwich? I don't know about that. It doesn't ring as nicely.
PB and Jammy.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
When's the Space Jam theme song, by the way? No.
Right? But with Soul here, I actually want to give a special shout out to Soul, because Soul has been one of the few people I have seen who reaches out to people. I think even to the point where it's more aggressive than what I do, which is impressive. Yeah, Soul
That's
is
a good word for it.
yeah, aggressive. But
Sorry.
with nah, it's all good, dude. Because
Bully.
speaking of which, right? Even our back in the day, one of the first big Among Us collabs we did, like half of the people that got invited to that happened in like the last hour before we went live, because Soul blasted in his Discord. It's like, who wants to play Among Us?
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was I think like 12 people on at one point in time in that game, and it was
I got no
nuts,
time to DM everyone. What the hell?
right?
I work off stream.
But yeah, from what I've seen, Soul's in everyone's chat. Soul's out there, much like the Florida man, just being funny, being a good supporter, being a friend, being a bully as he is. Right? You got to live up to his own
It's gotta
name.
be tough to be that supportive.
I know.
Yeah, my back hurts.
You know what? Carrying all these streamers, is that what you're saying?
Go carry you in Halo, bro. What's up?
Yeah.
Please.
Oh.
But yeah, if
You know what
anyone
I will
else
say though, you know what? Maybe one of my favorite parts about collabing is, and about seeing other people collab is that
Looking at the
I only have No, I was gonna say I only have to watch so many streams. I don't have to try to pay attention to as many people's different shows at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I thought it was the fact that you call out everybody's leaderboards when we're playing Halo or something.
I do.
Listen.
That's just I got to assert dominance.
Vector is competitive.
We carried you that one game when you disconnected. No, I'm kidding.
That one game where I completely fell off the internet. Wow.
Yeah, bro. Even your bot carried you, bro. Kind of embarrassing.
Oh man.
I feel embarrassed. You're right.
Soul, I want to stand behind you during that comment, but it's like as soon as you mention when you disconnect, I'm just like, that just sounds bad now.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, sometimes I carry him in Rocket League. So
There we go.
Sometimes there's truth.
That's
in
true.
it.
This is true. There's give and take. Yep.
Yeah, and then there's other times where in Rocket League I'm just scoring on myself. I'm my own worst enemy. But how's everyone? Hello.
We're chilling.
I did not introduce
No,
myself.
you're good. We're not really doing full-blown introductions, but yeah, Hero King Soul, everyone. He's all
It's
set.
the Hero King Soul. Question. Now,
Yes.
does Hero King Soul count as a space streamer?
That's a good question.
I
And I
sense
can't
an
answer that.
imposter in our midst.
No,
I think Soul is an ambassador because he went through the effort of acquiring and assembling his own space helmet so he can hang out with the space VTuber crew. So
Go, yeah.
That's fair.
That's dedication
Yeah.
right there.
Fair enough.
I
if
have
any,
a knife with it.
you do have a knife. He does have a knife, so be careful.
Oh, good.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
remember
no,
during the Among Us
nice.
collab, since it was with some of you guys that were from like space tubers, I added a knife on top of it.
Ah, but you're in the airlock, and I have the button in front of me.
My
Interesting.
fucking
Wow.
head.
I can vent.
Get vented.
Hey, if you wanna fight, I have a giant knife in my back right now. So,
Damn.
I've seen it.
Interesting. So you're showing other people your knives?
Oh.
oh, dear.
Oh man, we
Oh,
start
don't be
talking about
comparing the
knives.
size of your knives now.
Yeah, not in front of
Yeah,
Ellie.
what the
Ellie
heck?
has
Mine's a butter knife, bro.
Ellie has at least 2. Here's a question. Speaking of knives, how many of you guys own IRL nerd swords?
What a segue.
I lost mine.
Also, keyblades do count.
Sorry, could you ask the question again? What was the term that you used?
What was the term that I just used? I think I just threw out. Yeah, like nerd swords.
think it was
IRL
nerd
nerd swords.
Yeah.
Okay, because immediately that brings to mind like mall ninja weapons.
That counts,
You know
doesn't
what I'm
it?
talking about?
Ah, I found it. Here's my knife. Whoops, sorry. I was looking for that
Okay, so
while I was talking about it.
I don't have any mall ninja like swords, but I have like 5 different swords in my room, and most
Wow.
of them are used for cosplay.
Ah,
Oh, that's fun.
Ooh, cosplay.
cosplay. Speaking of
I have a
cosplay,
lightsaber.
lightsabers count. That's space. That's the spaciest of space nerd swords.
Yeah, I'm on brand here.
Let's go.
I do,
Nice,
I do have
nice,
some
nice.
Star Wars merchandise.
What color?
It's purple.
Of course it
Let's
is.
go.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, that
Who,
makes
who
sense.
doesn't like purple? Also, Lyra, since you're Spider, I'm just waiting for the Octavius backpack with just laser purple lightsabers coming out of it.
Oh my god. Wait, no, not
You're gonna be the
Octavius.
next
Freaking,
Grievous?
what was his name?
Grievous.
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 Grievous?
Yes,
Oh,
Grievous.
Yeah.
Lyra, just Lyra.
Hello there. Hello there. Oh, I love the green
man.
A
lightsaber.
fine addition to your collection. Absolutely.
Indeed.
Amazing.
They're coming. I promise.
I'm adding this to the fighting game prompt.
Yeah, actually, Lyra, out of the trio in Nova Swarm, like you're the only android, right?
Indeed.
So your arms could totally be Grievous.
I mean, they're just stuck in maintenance, of course. I think they all went on like vacation or something, but
Your-
it's not like
Your arms?
that important, unlike some other things.
Yeah.
You know.
Can you pop them on and off like Legos?
Yes, actually.
Legos.
Let's go.
Out of all the things you could compare it to, you chose Lego.
Lego.
Yeah, Lego Star Wars was the best.
I mean, Legos are sturdy.
yeah,
love
they
Lego.
hurt. Have you stepped on one? No, I'm kidding.
Depends on how you build.
Well, I have a replica katana that I bought when I was living over in Japan,
Nice.
and I got stopped at customs because I did not claim it.
Oh no.
Oh.
So you have or had?
No, still have.
Okay.
We sorted it out, but yes, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to import or export swords, especially Japanese swords, in and out of Japan.
Fascinating.
But since this was a replica, it was just a blunted thing.
Yeah.
It was like prop piece, basically.
Prop piece.
Yeah, they let me through eventually.
I believe they only let you through because of your voice.
Maybe there was that. Maybe that played a part. Who knows?
Listen,
Yeah,
we're doing
like,
a
We gotta leverage everything you got.
we're gonna do a podcast where we showcase the sword over radio.
That's gonna be hard
just-
considering
he
we're
just
all
unsheathes
YouTubers.
it over
We
and
don't
over.
actually like that.
ASMR.
You hear that? Yeah. That's good noise. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Oh.
you hear that? That's real metal right there. Ooh.
That's a good slide. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah. Here, look, if you could hear me taking it out of its sheath.
You have to you tap it with your like fingernails like
Ooh.
Sharpening his knife on, his sword on stream. Let's see. By the way, the entire time I was waiting to be brought in, I was just drawing something up for my channel.
Fun.
Multitasking. We love it.
Yes. Never stopped the grind. Since I haven't drawn anything besides my sword model recently. But yeah.
I mean, that was very recently though. That was like within the past two weeks, if not, right? Or has it been longer?
Yeah. Let's see. At the beginning of this month, I believe I revealed it. But it was something I wanted to do for my 6 months, and not only that, it didn't take me long because of the fact that I had something of a reference sheet already in the works. So luckily, I only spent 3 hours to make it.
Hero, I don't know, or Soul, how, you have so many reference sheets between like your children, your character from past, present, and future. It's like, get your shit together, bro. Come on, one timeline. One timeline.
Okay. So a little story, if you want to hear it, is that I wasn't
Strap in, everybody. Yep.
I wasn't
Oh
planning on
God,
YouTube.
wake me up when he's done.
Yeah.
When the soul is
My story
done.
begins in the 15th century.
Well, no, the thing is that I had drawn these characters since the 8th grade was the earliest model of Soul. Jesus, it looks so gross. I'm not gonna show that ever. But either way, is that I was originally planning to make a little comic with them, and then eventually Soul became a dad, and because I made 8 children. I was like, cool, this looks nice. And then because of my good friend homie Roach, he was like, yeah, you should get into streaming. I was like, why not?
Why not?
Homie Roach.
Yeah, homie Roach is great. We were having so much fun playing Rocket League the other day. We keep yelling at each other, but because of him, I started streaming, and I was like, hey, why not use Soul as my model? Because he looks exactly like me IRL. So I did base his model off of how I look, and I won't ever have to do a face reveal for that. But that's the reason why I have all those reference sheets for the kids. Is because there's originally supposed to be a comic, and I will eventually get to it. I just need to
multimedia goals.
One day, as the Vector and Soul in their 80s image would be more so appropriate by then.
Oh man, that old meme, I remember it.
Yeah, back in my day.
Man, I associate that voice vector with when you're paying Ollie Ollie World now with the dad. I think you did use that voice for him.
That's right. So I was doing some voices.
Right. Very fun. Let's see here. I think we have a couple people in the chat who... I'm trying to think. Dazaki, we have done a few collabs, but Dazaki, I don't have you set up, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to bring you in here. Kilvin, you're also not really a streamer, and I don't know if I'm going to drag you in here, but thanks for swinging by. Appreciate you guys.
Viewers listening to Dragon's special birthday special right now, drop your questions in the chat. Ask Dragon anything you want. He can't say no. He's going to answer any embarrassing questions that you got tonight.
Oh,
no.
crud. All right.
He could always just answer them as classified.
I'll entertain the idea.
That's a cop-out.
He has to answer any question.
Now.
Do it. Let's see what happens.
I love how Vector just came out with it on the spot.
I'm all for it. So for those that don't
taking
know,
over the show.
We'll talk about it here soon because we're actually coming up on our final hour here very shortly. But soon we're going to talk a little bit about D&D for anyone who want to stick around. If you know D&D, if you like to talk about D&D, if you're maybe going to be involved in some D&D related somethings that might be hosted by someone in this group later on in the near future, then feel free to stick around. But that'll be coming up in 10 minutes. But before we wrap it up, yeah, I guess if there's questions, I'll answer those. But
I guess.
I'm not.
I mean, I guess I'll keep talking to you guys.
Oh, jeez. That's for later.
Well, here's something to consider. This started as the Pico Pain reunion special or segment, as it were. What's another game that we could try out as a big group?
Thank you for reminding me.
Are you asking what's another game in the similar fashion that will cause pain? Because
what if we had fun this time, though?
You were with me on the Uno boat, Spaceman.
Ooh.
Uno is pretty fun. Yeah, I dipped out of that Uno game right before. What happened? I had to take off, and then you guys played for like an extra 3 hours, the same hand over and over and over again.
Listen, if you want Uno to not last for 5 hours, just bring Hero King Soul in. He'll sweep the floor with all of you, and you'll be done in 2 hours. It's easy.
And if you do want it to last for 50 hours, bring me.
Oh, speaking about that, hey, Vector, I got 4 crowns. Where you at, buddy?
You got what?
I got 4 crowns in Fall Guys.
Oh, 4 crowns in Fall Guys?
Yeah.
Good job, buddy. You're doing real good.
Way to go. Are you winning, son?
Something
the kindness Vector.
Something about
a good night. Everyone have fun. No, I'm kidding.
It was something about the coding of the Uno game. You know, does something that can't happen in real life. You know, a deck of Uno is like what, 50 cards, 40 cards. It just
gotta be somewhere around there.
Yeah, it kept looping, and we were like trying to end the game, but it was impossible because our hands were like 36 cards each. Like there were 90 something cards in play. We couldn't bring it down because it was like, well, one of my cards is draw 4. I'm sorry. Boom.
Oh
And
god.
Oh,
It
I
just-
see.
the number just kept ramping up, and it's like, this is never gonna end. This is literally
Yeah.
never gonna end.
It reminds me
And
of the
Joe,
old
how
school
can we
war
up
games.
player retention of our game? Well, Mike, what if they never stopped playing?
What
It
they're out of
is.
cards, just print more cards.
The
And-
never-ending loop.
like Spaceman said, like he literally dipped, and then the next turn it went. It turned into that. Like when Spaceman was playing, it was like everyone had 7 cards, 4 cards. He left, and then it just went to heck. He avoided that.
I
Dang.
believe that there's some old wisdom which states that you have to know when to hold them, but also when to fold them.
That's true.
Yeah. But on that topic, Victor, you actually reminded me of something I did want to throw out there to the group here and anyone watching, which is Fall Guys went free to play.
Ah, that's true.
And
Yep.
as I understand, we can make like a 60-man custom lobby or some shit.
Let's go.
Easier to play than ever.
Actually, if you didn't hear about it, there was a tournament that went on
I
recently.
heard, I did hear about
I
it.
did
I've
hear
seen
about that.
I've seen a couple mutterings and pop-ups of people trying to organize something, but I think we can get a big, nice little expanded group here. I know Pomato. I wish she was here, but I know Pomato has been making friends because I've noticed on Twitch or Twitter or the bird one that you can tell how social media adept I am. But I know Pomato, right? There's a trend where as many of us kind of started roughly around the same time, like Pomato is making friends that started roughly around when she started. And it seems,
Contemporaries.
yeah, it seems like that is a pattern in the algorithm. So, with our extended group of space friends and sci-fi friends and robot friends and android friends and anything in between, as weird as it may be, we can probably squeeze in a pretty damn close to 600 or not 660 player count. Right? Oh man, that's
Finding big.
VTuber IRL Squid Game. Let's go. Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, that'd be crazy.
Did you say cash prize? Is that what I'm hearing?
I would kill all of you for
Oh my God.
$400,000.
I would do a cash prize, but I'm not going to be the only one if we're doing a 60-man big ol' event.
Of course.
But yeah, that's an idea. And to
Everybody's
piggyback,
got to chip in $2 and then we all get banned for gambling.
dang. I mean, yeah, what's the buy-in for this ultimate Fall Guys? Yeah.
$5.
Hmm.
$5
I mean, if
times
we're running
60 is
it,
300,
we'll
right?
probably do some insider trading.
Insider trading. There we go.
What
Shady business.
Fall
Mm.
Guys stocks now? What is going on?
Well, I'm sorry. Is that a loser mentality right there?
Dang, calling out already. We haven't even started the game.
10 seconds and I have no idea what you're talking about anymore.
But anyway, yeah, Fall Guys is a big one that I'm thinking about. And you guys know me. If I hit you up, that means something's happening.
That means you better answer. No.
Yeah, that means you better free your calendar.
Yeah.
Your
You
mother's
answer
in the
the call.
hospital.
You better call out of your
She'll be
freaking job,
fine.
bro.
Yep.
Here's hoping.
Here's
Put those
hoping.
kids
We'll
to
see.
rest.
We'll see. But honestly, I think I could probably get maybe like a dozen people. I think a few of you guys can get, half to a dozen people. If we, as long as we have 5 of us that are able to pull in like 10 people, then that's pretty damn close. We'll get some viewers in. Sounds plausible to me.
This guy thinks I can pull in
All
10
of you to
people.
assume we have. No, I'm kidding.
Neff, you're one of my dozen. I don't know. But on another note, with the kind of community in mind, I heard rumblings that as much as many of us have our own Discord communities, as many of us who don't have the time to deal with Discord have our own, Twitter and Twitch following, I've heard rumblings of a particular sci-fi Discord that is maybe being thought about. And I don't know about sci-fi per se, but I would, if something like that were to happen, I think there needs to be some more commitment from the people invited to it, because I would love the idea of a community like Discord, and but it has to be like the main channel, otherwise it just won't get used like everyone else's channels that pop up on Twitter to get invited to. So that is something that I would.
You call me out, right?
To be fair,
Discord is very easy to use. I don't know if it's like the best platform for stable community groups.
Because most of the time when people have like personal lives, they put their Discord on mute and just kind of forget about it.
yeah. So I don't know. I'd be very interested to be involved in a conversation of what that community Discord might look like, because it cannot. If it happens, I don't think it can be like a personalized Discord. It has to be like a community Discord, right? And treated as such.
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I know, and everyone has their own or some of you don't, but everyone that has their own Discord server for their channel. Like that's cool. But you do notice there's a small amount of the people that come to the streams are active in the Discord. But if you're part of a community Discord, then everyone's little bit adds up to a healthy, happy community.
Yeah.
I'm part of an all clown server, and that's booming and honking.
It's a very interesting topic, though. I'd love to see it happen, but at the same time, I'm skeptical because I've seen plenty of Discords that pop up. My own being a kind of a pilot case, because my Discord is a friends and gamers Discord that I made a little subsection within through role management to make it, my little VTuber corner in here, right? So, and I know a few of you guys have your own community channels, which multiple streamers are on. And that works pretty well for those that use it, right? But I don't know. I think it's an interesting idea, but I would be more than happy to talk about it with anyone here. So,
I mean, I think they sort of came up with the idea some time ago. I think I was planning a little bit of that. And I mostly like the idea of having a space VTuber server because of the idea of it being a middle ground. For all I know, I could just invite all of you to my server, but it is themed around me, so it wouldn't feel right. I just want a middle ground to interact with everyone.
Yeah, thinking about it, because I spend too much time in my head. So making thoughts becoming ideas, and ideas becoming fixed in reality are two different issues. But the whole,
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
we're intelligent people. I'm sure we could figure it out.
I think there'd be a lot of value with it if we made it like a easy place for the VTubers to interact with one another and collab with one another, other than doing like what we had to do today, where it's like, hey, if you're not already on my Discord, join it, because that's where we're doing it. Like if VTubers had a common place to do their thing, I think that'd be a bit more successful than the hopes of a community building around it. If that makes sense?
Yeah, that makes definitely sense.
Yeah. But
the idea would be that everyone should be there. So,
but you know what?
I'm the only one that's not a space tuber.
Yeah. And actually, Soul, you got people in your Discord who are active. You actively, you're on there a lot. I see your posts. So
my Discord,
your Discord's.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, that's true, because again, this is the problem with Discord. I actually sent in a long message to Discord talking about this issue of the niche of like VTuber communities who have all these little sub communities. Like, isn't this taking up your server space? Couldn't there be a way to, create like common channels that are actually like that can split brain in multiple communities? I think
that would be a great idea. Yeah.
There is. I'm a part of these two channels that whenever you sign up for certain, like if you react to this certain emote, you only see one channel specifically, and then it's split with 4 channels.
So you're gonna have to send that to me, because that sounds like some bot shenanigans. I don't think Discord out of the box does that.
It is a bot.
Yeah.
It's a bot that they have. But I joined it for a specific artist, and they called it the crossovers. And there's apparently 4 different VTubers in it, but I'm following it specifically for one. So I'm only seeing her stuff. Like, I'm not seeing all the other 3 VTubers.
Yeah, send me their info, because I would love to take a look and get inspiration.
Oh my goodness. Collaborates.
Yes.
Even though you're only there for like the stream notifications of one of them, like if there's a conversation going on in general that you want to take a part of, like you're already interacting with all the other like members of the other communities. Like
Right.
it's that's I think that's where it is. That's the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And on my Discord, right, I have this thing where in my kind of announcement channel, it gets pushed out to an announcement channel. But what I noticed, if you guys have your own Discords, if you make a announcements channel, other Discords can follow that. And I think an easy way of getting some kind of connections between Discords would just be for a Discord to have like a, hey, these are my, I don't know, collaborator announcements or some crap, right? And then you just link to their Discord, pull their announcements if that happens. But obviously, we could talk about that some other time. Because we are past the hour, and I do want to get to this D&D segment, so we'll take another 5-minute break. Everyone who swung by, thank you again. Man, I did not expect to get 20 birthday songs sung tonight, but that happened.
Birthday song?
Let's go!
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
I'm glad you made it to 25.
Hey.
And many more.
Oh my god, you guys are nuts. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Are you 60 now?
Not for you. All right. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. See y'all here again in a little bit. If you're a fan of D&D, stick around. Else, enjoy your evenings. But we'll be back soon.
Don't touch that dial.
Don't touch it. Don't do it. All right, we are back, everybody. Welcome, welcome. And Zabiel, you jumped into my chat. I totally forgot to because I saw you. But let me go ahead and make a quick little adjustment here. So we're going to be joined here by my good buddy Zabiel. And for anyone else still sticking around, we're going to be talking about some Dungeons and Dragons.
He's doing his little intro.
With that, let's bring everyone back in here. Oh,
I have Neff at 1%. No wonder I haven't been able to hear her.
Yeah, no wonder
good
you're
job.
talking over me
Way to
the
go.
whole
Way to
time.
go.
Incredible.
And I didn't mute you guys, so you couldn't hear me, but they could hear you.
I am so sorry, Neff.
Nah, you guys are good. And also, Root.
Hi, nerd.
And Hero
Fuck you.
King, why is you disappeared on the screen here? There you are.
Uh-oh.
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
man. I gotta separate Hero King and Neff. You guys can't be in the same room together. And put you in timeout.
Put him in the corner.
Exactly.
Put him in the ghetto orange shirt.
All right. Well, hanging out, words, man, getting tired. Hanging out with us now in our third hour, man. It's slowly coming to a close here, but we got one more hour or so left for this special stream with some good friends of the channel, people we've met along
Wait
the
a
way.
minute, are we live again?
We are live again. You should be. live
Welcome
again.
back to the super special Dregn Durant one and only limited time super great birthday stream.
Yep. And Zabiel is joining us for our 6th round, I think, of a happy birthday sing along. But
For our 900th rendition of the evening.
oh geez,
Yeah.
my ears! I'm not gonna be able to hear anything for an hour after we leave.
You ready to Zaki?
You're gonna be hearing it in your dreams.
Oh, wait. Oops, I meant Azabia.
Nice, smooth.
I am sorry.
All right, you guys are being told to sing happy birthday. So 3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
And many more.
Man, you guys can see me just wigging out. I'm dying over here. I'm dying.
Does the
Alright.
helmet help drown out the noise?
No, it just reverberates inside even
echoes.
louder. Exactly. Oh
Like you got
man,
bees in your head.
bees. Those aren't bees. Those are hornets. But yes, so D&D is a big thing I do on my channel, right? We run our
Dungeons
Horizons
and or Dragons.
and or Dragons. Correcto. Yep.
Hey, can you rename Horizon Exploration to Dungeons and Dragons?
Dragon.
Horizon Exploration Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. That might have to
Weird
change.
say it that way.
Actually, a buddy of ours who's in my campaign coined the term Dregnverse, which you guys might have seen me use a few times here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually one of our players, Sergio, plays Dario in that campaign. But before we get into this segment here, how about we make a quick little round? How many of you guys have actually played D&D? Obviously, we have Jammy, who was kind enough to host a little D&D adventure for many of us. Gosh, it's been a while already, hasn't it?
Oh my god, such an old video. I'm watching it on your stream now. Ooh,
Memories,
nostalgia.
memories.
Right? But yeah, that was a great time. Candlekeep Mysteries. What was it called? The Price of Beauty?
The Price of Beauty, yeah.
It was a good time.
Good old spa trip.
Yeah, I didn't get to rope Nando in here. Unfortunately, Nando and I haven't been able to find some time to do stuff together after that collaboration. But the Nova Swarm crew, all three of them, and Vector Spaceman himself, obviously I was there too. But yeah, Jammy had run a little 2-day one-shot for all of us, which was, a lot of fun. And is
It was supposed to be one day, but
supposed to be.
things happen.
They rarely ever are, in my experience. But
Ain't that the way it goes?
Jamie, have you talked about on stream what you got coming up?
Oh no, not yet. I think this would be my first time talking about it.
You want to tease it? Because quite a bit of people, if not every single person here.
Every single person in here is a part of it.
Yeah, what's going on?
So I am running a West Marches campaign. in March because it matches, and I just thought it was funny because, you know, March was D&D month for me last year.
Nice.
Well, not last year, this year. Oh my gosh. But so, if for those of you who don't know, West Marches is kind of like a sandbox D&D. So there's no overarching plot. It's all about the joys of adventuring and just kind of exploring everything.
Oh boy.
And yeah, it's pretty cool. But for West Marches campaign, it's a lot more party collaboration. And I really wanted to try one because I always see on Twitter and like everywhere people and like VTubers especially are like, oh, I love playing D&D and like role play and all that stuff, but I can't find anyone to play D&D with, you know. And being like a DM and stuff, I always find it like my duty in a way to like just bring in all the new peeps in. So that's why I brought newbies like Soul, who hasn't played D&D before.
Yeah, noob.
Yeah, that's you. And wait, Nev, have you played D&D before?
Neff's such a big
never.
Neff's such a big nerd. She's lying to you.
played
She's
D&D.
lying to you. She's lying to you.
Never played it before.
Neff is the biggest dork here.
What's D&D? I kind of want to try it. That's like the dice game, right?
Dungeons, Neff, dungeons.
Dice and math game.
Yeah, the D stands for dice.
Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
Don't you just love math?
Oh my god, I love that. Yes, I've played D&D many a time.
But yeah,
Oh, freaking out.
so we're planning like a 20-player campaign that's in the works right now. It's had to start it super early because there's so much to do, like getting everyone's characters done, getting all the maps set up, things like that. And yeah, we're still in very early stages of it. Not everyone has made their characters yet.
Wait, am I
But-
supposed to be doing that?
Like this guy.
Yeah, most of us finished that
All of you
weeks
in
ago.
here.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is you said we were going to be doing it in March, so I thought, all right, I'm not going to get this done till Christmas times.
Oh god, yeah. I'm kind of assuming everyone won't get it done till Christmas, and that's totally okay because I wasn't planning for sessions until like January, like off-stream sessions, and then all of March will just be all of you guys playing with like leveled up characters and doing a lot more interesting stuff past like level 1 and all
Ooh.
that.
I was gonna say hearing it from you, I'm like, man, imagine planning 6 months ahead for a D&D campaign. That's crazy.
Oh yeah.
And
I-
I did the exact same thing for the Horizon Exploration campaign, which I think I was hounding my players for like 3 to 6 months, being like, let's get your backstory set up, let's get some lore because we're doing this homebrew sci-fi thing. And yeah, not as unrealistic as you'd expect it to be. That time will be gone in an instant.
Mm-hmm. I did want to like, since we're talking about D&D and all that, what brought you into D&D, Dragon?
No problem.
His name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So on brand
It
about
wasn't
that.
a joke. It was, I'm entering the dungeon of VTubing world, and I'm Dragon,
Oh.
Nah. So that's a bit of a history lesson for me, actually, because I've known about D&D for a very long time, since I was in school back in the day, and never played it. I used to play this little sport called water polo, so I actually was in the jock camp in the past, but the teammate that tried to get us to play D&D did a horrible job introducing it in hindsight. But he got it on the radar. But what happened was, I was a big video game fan, obviously, and then pivoted over to board games, which board games got me into the hobby shop. And I would see them playing D&D every Wednesday. And after a bit of a family situation, D&D actually became kind of my escape for the week. So on Wednesdays, I would go to my hobby shop and sit down and met some people there, played some D&D for about a good year or two. And then I was like, you know what? The hobby shop is one avenue. Why don't we try playing online?
Yeah.
And that became a little search on Reddit where, funny enough, through that exchange is where I met Asbiel. He was here. Yeah, we actually met through one of my OG D&D online games. That first there was a GM that invited us, and then As here ended up running games, and then I ended up running games, and yeah, it's been years since then. But that's what got me into D&D, just a way to escape, much like video games are to many of us. D&D and the immersion and the RP elements of it, I was a huge fan of, and I'm like, man, I had a great GM back then too, and Az here is a pretty damn good GM. He does it professionally, but I really enjoy video games, board games, and D&D because of the immersion. Like, my head space is in my character, in the story that the GM is telling, and I have a very vivid, fond memory of an IRL game back at that hobby shop where I had a dream where I had to stop one of my party members from doing something I didn't know. It was like a tarot reading type of a deal. And gosh, I think I was awake all night, like for a good 6 hours after. Yeah, I was up until like 3 a.m, just my heart rate pumping because I got so immersed in that game. That was probably the game that got me completely just hooked and sold on D&D. So longer story.
That's nice.
But yeah, that's what got me into D&D.
Oh, that's really great.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Have you ever considered LARP Dragon, or do you think that would be too much? Too much
So
immersion?
I think LARPing, if you do it right, could be a lot of fun, right? But it's not cheap to do that, and a lot of those people have either some sort of tailoring or leatherworking skills that they picked up to save the cost, because the equipment alone is pricey, right? If you've ever looked into it. And I have thought it would be fun, but I think what I enjoy about video games and D&D is that I clearly separate fiction from reality. So I think with LARPing, it'd be blending it a bit too much, and I'd feel a bit awkward doing it. Whereas
I've heard that can be an issue, yeah.
Yeah, whereas with video games, right, your mind space is in the game, which is why I like the Game Hunt Showdown that I play frequently. For D&D, I like the storytelling aspect of it and trying to get my head in the story that the GM is telling, and it works for me. But yeah, I've never done it IRL. Has anyone here done IRL LARPing?
No, I've got some friends who are into it, but same thing. They've talked before about having issues separating, I guess, game from real life and things like that. And then I see pictures of their events and things like that. And some people, they'll go all out with costuming and things like that, which is great to see. And then you see some goober who's rocking up with cargo shorts on and his helmet or whatever. And it's like, come on, put a little effort into it, my man.
Right.
And I think that would annoy me the most, is if I was going to get into it, I'd go all in on it.
But on the flip side... Oh.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Vector, I thought you were about to be like, no, I don't LARP, I have friends.
Dang. You know, just because he has a voice for radio doesn't mean he has friends, guys.
Well, I've got friends who are into it. Like, they go regularly, like once a month, to these LARP events. And they've told me about it before, and I like hearing the stories because I like the tabletop games and things like that.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it could be a pretty seamless transition, maybe, if you wanted to get into the other hobby. But then, yeah, I hear the bad aspects about it from them too. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'll sit this one out.
I imagine, like with D&D, it's easy because, right, either a campaign or a one-shot or like a month-long session or something, it's easy to kind of hop in and out, whereas LARPing, it's very particular, right? There's certain locations you have to be near.
Yeah, it's expensive. You got to go for like a whole weekend or whatever. Like, it takes way more time. That's the thing. There's no time skips at a LARP event.
Yeah, the hardcore ones especially. Yeah, you're literally, they'll camp you out there and you're basically in the village for however many days it goes on for. It might be a 3-day deal. It might be a week-long deal. I think I've rarely seen like a daily, like you just jump in and jump out. Like, it's not like a video game match where you can hop in and out easy.
That's actually kind of crazy.
Taxing on the body because you're actually like whatever things that you want your LARPing character to do. I've seen people that have injured themselves and being like casts.
That's nuts.
From LARPing events.
Oh my god.
That's nuts.
Or especially the guys, the what is it? HEMA. It stands for
HEMA.
Yeah, HEMA, but what does it stand for? Something European martial arts?
Historical European martial arts.
Historical European martial arts, yeah. Yeah, they make like a whole combat sport out out of some of the stuff. Yeah,
I think they do the whole knights champion competition, right? They'll have like
exactly. Yeah,
sword
which is really
fighting.
cool to watch. Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you were to get involved with it, yeah, expect to get concussed every now and then.
Oh my god.
But
Okay,
if you're
after
into
enough
it,
time, won't remember.
exactly, it's lore accurate. Exactly, yeah, historically accurate. But on a kind of flip side token, cosplaying. Has anyone cosplayed? I think Jammy, didn't you cosplay when you went to AX recently?
Yeah, it was my my second time cosplaying actually. It was pretty fun, but
Fun.
I feel like I chose kind of a very difficult cosplay because well, for those who don't know, I went as Joker, or at least female Joker from Persona 5, and Joker wears this very long black trench coat.
Oh no.
And
Ooh,
so,
toasty warm.
yeah, very warm.
In this weather?
Oh my gosh, it was really hot in LA, but it was a lot of fun. And yeah,
You gotta suffer for your art.
exactly.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's why my helmet has fans inside of it.
So smart. I should have put fans inside the jacket. You're right.
I don't actually have an IRL
Or
helmet.
some
yet.
ice packs.
Oh.
I
Come home, jacket sopping wet. Oh my god.
I want to do cosplay. You know, I play D&D for a living. I've got all the time in the world, so I actually thought about that when I was coming up with my attire on Fantastic Forum that you can see the portrait of on screen. You know, pretty simple. It's a very simple, like button-up shirt and trousers and all that. It's got some belts that might be a little bit more complicated, and then it's got a cape, because who doesn't want to wear a cape?
Yeah.
So you know, I figured if I'm gonna give it a shot, you know, obviously I'm gonna dress as myself, so why not give myself some clothes that would be easy to arrange? So you know, maybe someday I'll actually do it, but it's something that really interests me, and kind of tangentially related to that, I wanted to learn how to do like some leather craft, which I did a little bit when I made a lightsaber once upon a time.
Ooh.
I had a leather wrapped hilt, so I learned
Koga.
very basics of that. Got myself a little starter kit with like the little rolling cutter and everything, and doing rivets and such, and it was fun. But I want to do more.
That's a fun hobby. Leather surprisingly doesn't seem to be as expensive to buy, but when you buy like a completed product, leather-based goods are pricey. Yeah, it's the skills.
Well, it makes sense when you think about how much beef gets produced in the Americas.
Oh, that's a good point.
You got to do something with all that skin. May
That's
as
a
well
good
tan it.
point.
We go to a leatherworking store or workshop when we were making our cosplays?
Yeah,
Or-
we did. We ended up going to one, and there was actually a display. I saw made a full Roman-style scutum out of leather
Ooh.
and shit too.
Oh.
Full cuirass, helmet, everything. It was just like there on a mannequin, and it was beautiful.
Kelvin on the chat mentions blade making, so kind of more like forgery, I would imagine, but that's a completely different skill set.
Forgery, that's a whole different thing.
That's not even. You need. They do make those like more portable furnaces, though. I've seen those off of that
Oh, they
one
do.
popular TV show. I forget what it's called.
I
so
see
popular.
so many videos on YouTube that all go down a rabbit hole watching
yeah.
like blade making, leather working, wood turning,
Dregn Durant.
resin working, all this stuff. Yeah, and I'll just be watching that for hours on end and be like, "Yeah, I could do this. I should get into a new hobby. I should commit all my time."
I can say I've definitely done that myself too.
Yep.
I've looked into it. And funny enough, you can make a decent-sized forge out of a coffee can and some fire bricks.
I actually play around with the idea of maybe I should get like a guitar and try and learn how to make some music again. I used to play the violin, and piano doesn't count, but Guitar always sound
Dragon,
attractive.
I didn't know you played violin.
A long time ago. Long time
I
ago.
played
Do a little fiddling.
viola.
Viola. Ooh.
Ooh, viola.
We're gonna start talking about instruments. Who else plays instruments?
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, regional mayonnaise is not an instrument.
The only instrument Regional knows how to operate is a French press.
Yeah, I can operate a French press, and I also do have an electric guitar.
Oh.
There you go.
Ooh.
Wow,
Okay.
fancy.
A little jamming over there.
Not very good at it, but what can you say? I mess around with it now and then.
I think I started and quit like 4 different instruments in my life.
The kazoo, the maracas.
The first and most successful was actually violin.
Okay.
Which I did as a wee lad in my schooling days. Then tried flute. That went terribly. It's so complicated. There's so many things. It's scary.
It's scary.
But it sure sounds nice when it's played well.
You could be a flautist.
And then, like guitar, who doesn't try guitar, it seems like. Just ended up not sticking with that one. And I kind of dabbled with some percussion stuff that, again, just didn't stick with it.
It's tricky because I think a lot of people go into some hobbies with the expectation of the end result, and the road to get to that end result is often not what you think about.
That goes for just about everything, though, from drawing to playing instruments
to becoming a VTuber.
Every single type of hobby that involves some type of creation.
Exactly.
Like that.
I think so.
So here's a story. Back in the day, me and my friends, we used to get together to play Rock Band.
Yeah.
You remember that?
The video game one?
Yeah, the video game. But because we were dorks, we'd always refer to it as band practice. We'd be like, oh, okay, so we're getting together after school for band practice, right?
Nice.
And then there was one day, a buddy of mine was talking about it, and one of the girls in our class overheard. It's like, oh, what do you play? And he had to sort of try and play it off like we were actually legit. And we weren't. No.
That's where you lean into it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you want to?
It does have a campaign mode, so.
Right. I hear by the end of it, you become a rock star.
We felt like rock stars, and that's
what's
really
important. Yep. Oh man. All right, here's the big D&D question then. How many of you have backup D&D characters?
Just ready to go?
Yeah.
Bro, that's all my NPCs. What are you
talking
about?
That is the answer.
If you are a GM and you have NPCs, those NPCs could easily be your characters. I know how that is.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a joke through a trend that I've noticed, which is if you're really into D&D, you can only play one character per campaign unless it dies, usually, right? But being a fan of D&D doesn't mean that your imagination takes a backseat once you're in a campaign. So what happens is you start having these ideas like, oh, wouldn't that class combination be cool? Wouldn't this character be cool? Wouldn't that backstory be cool? Oh, I saw this movie. Wouldn't that being a D&D character be cool?
Yep.
So if you're a big D&D fan, I feel like more often than not, I ask the question and like, yeah, I do have backup characters ready to go. Or I have backup ideas ready to go.
I mean,
I've had the problem before where,
I was just gonna say, I already made 2 for Jamie's thing, so.
Dang.
Nice.
Hasn't even started. It's still
I
6
made
months
one,
away.
Changed my mind and made another one.
Yep, we got it all done, and then he messaged me later like, "Oh hey, can I redo my character real quick?" I'm like, "Bro, we're not playing this until next year. You can remake your character as much as you want."
Oh, this is good news.
Oh no.
Oh, Greg, you ready rethinking your Monster Hunter character?
We'll see.
I mean, Rig's really undecisive though, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Understandable. Because it's one character, you gotta dedicate yourself to them. Unless they die, then you don't got anything to worry about.
So if you ever get bored of your character, the moral of the story is take risks and die.
It's real easy.
Really, this seems like the campaign to do it. Ellie plays D&D. I think out of a trio, Ellie, you're the biggest D&D dork, right? Or was it regional?
Rig is more, I think, D&D
Okay,
dork. He
okay.
has more history than I do, but
You're in there though.
we have different histories when it comes to D&D.
Well, what got the rest of you guys into D&D? Because it definitely seems like there is a large Venn diagram overlap of VTubers in particular and people who have played, are interested in playing, or do play D&D or some form of tabletop RPG.
Oh my god.
It's just more roleplay. And
It really
it's
is.
more reason to create characters, honestly.
like
being a VTuber is one thing, but then, hey, let's play D&D. I can roleplay, roleplayception almost.
Honestly.
I've been in roleplay forums before. I know.
Interesting. You're going to have to tell me about that.
Something really fun.
What's that?
Yeah.
Ellie and I essentially met over a roleplay forum.
Oh,
that's amazing.
Roleplay chat room-ish.
So a chat room I can kind of sort of understand. So tell me, what is this? This is new to me.
Oh boy, this breaks the immersion a little.
Okay,
but,
maybe offline?
Yeah, if you know a quirky art site, DeviantArt.
Yeah.
We were part of an art group that was dedicated to the movie Summer Wars, in which yeah, if anyone knows, it's actually a little bit like the Digimon movie, in which they have their
exactly like it.
It is.
It's like it was sort of like the characters in Summer Wars are kind of like VTubers though.
Yeah, so
like
you make your avatar and everything's connected on this online world and it's super cute. And anyway, in this group we created our own characters and would hang out in the chat room as if, we were role-playing as our cute avatars, and it kind of went from there. We would just kind of find each other during the same times and just kept on chatting.
Fascinating. It reminds me a lot of, what was that big site where it was a Western site though? Sorry, Giga? Gia? Goddamn.
Gaia Online.
Gaia Online, yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Is it kind of like what people do there?
Wow, Jamie, you just unlocked a core memory.
Is it kind of like what people would do there though? They'd get really into their avatars and their space
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I see it now. Nice.
I want to go back in time and be part of this chat room.
Oh my god.
Sounds good. Nice.
I think for me, the path was kind of, kind of going back on to LARPing. When I again was a wee lad, I would have anytime I got into a new school, moved around a lot. Anytime I get into a new school, find the other loners and shy people and unite. Then weekends come around, hang out at other people's houses, and at some point it's just like, you guys know what role playing is? And usually it's like, I don't know. It's like, you want to do it? You want to role play? And so I kind of indoctrinated all of my little loner friend groups into being LARPers a little bit. Running around and just playing clothes and using branches for swords and whatnot, but we went from there. Then I learned about MMORPGs, and I was too dumb and didn't care to figure out how to properly play them and progress and level up. So I would just hang out in the cities and roleplay with people in the taverns.
Yeah, dude.
And then from there, just a lot of video games, and then D&D. Yeah, I saw famous people that I liked listening to in all these video games and TV shows playing D&D on this one particular stream, and then
I wonder which one.
Wait a second, this is a thing that people this is a game. Like I dabbled with TTRPGs before that. Usually it was like older siblings like, hey, do you want to play this GURPS thing or a D&D or a fusion? Do you want to do any of this stuff? I was like, yeah, sure. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna be a halfling. I'm gonna have a knife. I'm gonna be like the little guy from this anime I liked at the time. And I would do things like run into a door, knife first, have the door fall on me, my character dies, and I make a new one.
Nice.
But then it kind of settled for a while, and then eventually, you know, the internet took D&D and ran with it, and now here I am.
You know,
I make a living doing it.
VTubing is really just committing to a D&D character, no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of.
You're role playing your OC.
There you go. That's kind of true. I feel it.
Joke's on you. I'm never in character.
It's always been me. Well, there is no
Always been
character.
me.
It's Neff all the way down.
If we want to talk about getting into roleplay, I can talk about kind of a fucking embarrassing chapter of my life. Any of y'all ever play StarCraft 2?
Never heard of it. Yeah.
Alright, so StarCraft 2 had this player-run arcade, which would let people use the map editor and the entire engine of StarCraft to build like a mission or whatever, and upload that to the arcade. And people made it like all these mini games and stuff like that, but there was one like series of maps that were just like a roleplay engine where you could spawn in a unit and rename it and all this stuff, and change your your name to match the character and stuff like that, and have the characters say shit. That's where I started getting into roleplay.
Huh.
So that, Jesus Christ, I did not want to remember that.
You repressed it.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I can tell you the whole trajectory, I think, of how I got into it. So for me, the interest, I guess, started by exposure to the, what would you call it? The cultural perceptions of D&D. Not what it really was, but sort of what had grown around it.
It's the devil?
Like Satanists in the
Yeah.
basement
Stuff
trying
like
to,
that.
kill
Yeah.
someone.
I used to see them playing it in, in shows, in comics, like they used to feature it a lot in like the Foxtrot comic strips and stuff like that. And I don't know if anybody remembers this, but around, I guess, the tail end of the 3.5 edition, there was this this other associated game, which was Dungeons and Dragons miniatures, where they sold miniature pieces in like booster boxes, and they came with cards that you could actually use for stats and stuff within the 3.5 edition and things like that. And it was its own little board game, sort of tactical combat game, and it was really, really cool. I enjoyed it. Me and a bunch of my friends played it, and that sort of satisfied the itch for a while. Eventually I got to see like what actual character sheets for the game looked like, and it just looked like arcane, like so esoteric. Like I didn't know what all these skills were for. I didn't know how any of the numbers were generated. So at the same time, it looked complicated, but it also looked like, ooh, this is something secretive. This is something juicy.
Juicy.
And I think we played once when we were in high school. Got like the one of the starter boxes that you could get at the time, and that was fine. We had fun with it, but sort of put it by the wayside. Then years later, I saw the well, I guess not too many years later, because this would have been around the time that 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons was coming out, which I really love. I think it's probably one of the best things they ever did. It's super fun to play, super easy to get into, super easy to build content for. And that's where I spent most of my time playing and running games, was in 4th edition. But this was way before, well, not way before, but this was before Critical Role or other similar games like that. There was a series that was done by Wizards of the Coast and Penny Arcade. The authors of Penny Arcade, whatever his name is, and Jerry Holkins. Mike K and Jerry Holkins, as well as 2 other comic strip artists. The fellow who does Player versus Player, Scott Kurtz, and then Chris Straub, another guy who does webcomics. And they all got together and they did basically like a very early Dungeons and Dragons podcast in the 4th edition. And that's what got me into it. It's like, oh, this sounds really funny, because these are all comedians. These are guys who write webcomics for a living. They had a lot of fun with it, made it really entertaining to listen to. And then I thought, all right, so I'm going to get some of my friends together. We're going to try playing this brand new edition out. And yeah, had a great time. Kept going like all the way through high school and university. So that never stopped after that, basically. Just kept on rolling, kept on having fun. Here we are today.
Nice. So Vector is a senior citizen. Cool.
No, I'm trying to date myself with these stories.
Again, Help it.
No, that's
And then
super cool.
color
Though.
television came
Any
out.
arcade? What is he talking about?
Ooh, did I just hear arcade?
I know Penny Arcade. I get you.
Yeah, Penny Arcade. Penny
Right,
Arcade's not that old
no,
though.
It's okay.
Not that out of touch. Come on.
Sometimes saying things about college humor. What's that?
Oh my god. That's awesome though. I had no idea that they had done that with fourth edition. That's definitely before my time.
It was a series called Acquisitions Incorporated, and I think they still do.
Yes.
Oh,
games.
that's who you're talking about. I
That's
see.
how-
I
Yes,
see.
but
I
that's a-
have heard of them.
That's a
Such a
series that
good. Oh my god. Such a
it's
good.
so
expansion.
good. It predates Critical Role or
Yep.
other, I guess the ones that really blew up. And they used to do these games live at
Conventions.
the Penny Arcade Expo
Yeah.
shows. So you'd get 1 or 2 of those a year. They actually had Will Wheaton from Star Trek as a regular player for a good number of years. And they also had a number of other celebrities. What's her name? Morgan Webb from G4 back in the day. And some other, I guess lately they've got people that I don't recognize as much. But the old days when it was the webcomic artists, that's what got me into it. They did so well, got me hooked on the game and my friends. So props to them.
No.
I will say that yeah, so you're coming through now. I just moved you out and in again. Looks like Discord channel's starting to freak out. But yeah, I remember watching them actually, and gosh, it had to have been like the live streams. They started showing up on YouTube, and they were like an hour or
they
2
posted them
hours
all to
long.
YouTube after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah, I did
It's-
watch those. They were a good time.
It started as a collaborative project between Wizards of the Coast and Penny Arcade as some sort of sponsored thing to showcase 4th edition, which was coming out at the time.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm. And that's the story, folks.
That's the
We're
story.
talking about what made us roleplay.
Role play, yeah, getting into D&D if you're familiar with it. I don't know, Hero, you have not, right? You're completely new to that side of not nerdy enough for you. What's the deal?
Jeez, calling him out.
What made you think I was a nerd?
Because you're
I'm just everything about you.
yeah.
Just the way you look and
Interesting.
talk and act and sound and carry yourself.
Oh,
Interesting.
man.
Yeah.
Well, since we're talking about, oh no, you can keep going.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
I have nothing to add to this
Oh my
conversation.
god, you're both bottoms. Holy shit.
Coming from you.
You can catch these hands enough.
Yeah, I will.
That's
Oh my God.
that's me. I sent in the chat, by the way. But no, what I was gonna say as a joke was that Mario was the reason why I started role playing, but that's not really it. It's Kingdom Hearts.
That makes more sense. Kingdom Hearts makes more sense for you from you. Yeah.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Because
What were you gonna
aren't you
say,
one of the
Jeremy?
princesses in the game?
Just quiet.
Yeah. We all heard it.
Kingdom Hearts is basically an RPG setting, if you were to look at it.
Pretty
from
much.
that side. Yeah.
It is a JRPG, technically.
Well, that's true too. Yeah, technically. All right, you got me there. Yeah.
Yeah. Sora's cosplaying all the time.
People always compare VTuber collabs to Kingdom Hearts.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of this. I've
Spot on.
never heard of this. Tell me.
Oh gosh,
'cause
it's
then
like
you
different
randomly
styles.
see.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll be in
Like-
Monsters Inc. and you'll see Sora,
eclecticism,
Donald, and
yeah.
Goofy randomly.
or even
in
the
there.
worst one, like Captain Jack Sparrow in Kingdom Hearts 2 next to Donald and Goofy.
Mhm, okay, I get it. I get
I
it.
totally forgot about that.
I get it now. Just a mismatch
Imagine-
of characters.
It's like
Imagine
me
if,
being here among all of you guys. Like, what even is space?
It's just
Imagine
space.
if,
It's this thing
Space.
between all the stuff in the universe, right? And there's nothing in it, which is why we call it space.
Fair.
Crazy. Never would have guessed. Thanks. I didn't
Buffy,
even have to pay for that space fact.
true.
Not sure.
Buffy, what are you saying? I'm
Oh.
curious now.
Something
Oh,
I wanted to ask Yami.
Not yet.
Sorry.
Hold up. I want to hear what Buffy has to say.
Okay, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, imagine if every time VTubers collab, the rest of the VTubers in the collab have to change their design to like adapt to that
Ooh.
VTubers world.
Boy.
I would
Oh
love
my
that.
God.
Honestly.
That'd be amazing, but oh, the prep work.
Sounds expensive.
That's what I was gonna do
Yes.
with my PNG models.
Yeah, a lot
That's why
easier
people need
for
to come to
PNG
my
model,
world
I'm sure.
because
Yeah, it is.
I
So, like, most
actually
of
do
you
have
already
space in
have-
mine.
Most of you
Got
already
space,
have
I got
space
fantasy.
stuff, so just throw a clown nose on each of you and you're fine.
There we
There you
go. Which actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. It's not so much a full-on redesign, but it's like, is
Yeah,
there
that's
an
not hard to
element
rig.
from your channel? Which for Buffy, yeah, the little throw a little clown nose on it, call it a day.
See, that's how you
Doable.
do it. You do it for your channel, and then you hand it out to guests.
Like a party favor.
Oh, okay, I see.
Mhm.
Here's your clown
So yeah,
nose
a
card.
clown nose when you're on the Space Buffoon show, or
That's
Clown hair.
a knife when you're on Hero King Soul's show.
Everyone
Yeah,
gets
you know
the
what?
little
Theme.
Or
The
a
little
bad
helmet
attitude when
mic.
you're streaming with Neff.
What the hell?
That's
Literally the
true.
most toxic VTuber I know. You have to turn into a sandwich to call out with Jemmy.
Day.
That'd
my
actually
gosh,
be really cute.
I was actually thinking of that, of making everyone like as little sandwiches and all that.
And then when you collab, they become a loaf of bread.
True.
Either that or
Slices come together.
all the slices
And,
come together.
Everyone's a
Platter of
different
sandwiches
ingredient.
for big collabs.
And you know how with Discord reactives you can have them pop up every time they talk. You just see random slices of bread pop up.
Day. Not a bad idea.
only-
Make 'em all
Oh my gosh.
the guest toaster.
That would
Yeah,
be so fun.
If
If
yeah,
only Discord didn't make my stream lag so
Right?
much.
Oh no.
you got to close all the extra browser windows you have open in the
I
background.
have
You
like
gotta-
no browser windows open. It's actually
Well, have you
crazy.
tried disabling the Bitcoin miner that people
Right. Oh crap! I
No, it's
haven't done that
there.
yet.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
You.
ingrained. You ain't getting rid of it.
Oh
Oh,
man.
no.
Welcome to the
Literally,
botnet.
It's become part of your Windows.
Oh,
I'm literally stuck in the Bitcoin mines now. I can't get out.
Oh yeah, you.
Yeah, welcome to the
installed Pico
blockchain.
Park.
Welcome to the blockchain.
all right. What do you guys think about NFTs? Since we're talking, no, we don't have to go there.
Oh my god.
I'm not a fan.
No, let's not.
You're already unsubscribing from your channel.
I'm leaving. You said the words. I'm out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, can I ask Jamie now?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3. Johnny Depp versus her trial, Amber.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my
What?
goodness.
It's Captain Sparrow, bro. We gotta save him.
Oh
He's
my
in
god.
another
okay.
predicament.
Captain Sparrow's gonna be recast using that Mexican dude with the laugh. Whatever the hell he says.
Oh, he passed away.
Did he really? Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't want to know that. Oh well.
Bro, I thought you knew.
I probably did and just forgot. I don't know. He'll live on forever though. That meme dude is amazing.
Oh yeah.
I've had an unconventional journey, if you could call it that, with D&D.
Oh yeah.
As in, it has only ever been parallel and never have converged onto it. So I've never had the resources to play a D&D. I know you don't really need much, but I just, throughout my whole time playing stuff with friends, what I would do was I'd take 8 sheets of paper, I'd draw a grid on it, I'd take some Yu-Gi-Oh cards, scatter them around, I'd make a plot in my head and come up with rules. No official D&D stuff.
Honestly.
No classes or skills, just
Yeah.
yeah, come up with a character and that's what you do. You play around.
That's all you need. Yeah. Honestly, my Sunday campaign isn't really that different because it's loosely based off of the 5e system for those that know it. But yeah, what I'm doing, because it's sci-fi, there's not a whole lot of sci-fi inspiration when it comes to rules, so it's kind of all just done on the fly. I imagine it's much like that, but that sounds super fun. You could totally do that. There's actually board games that have gone with similar ideas. They just make a deck of card with some rules on it for random events or something that could happen. And maybe there's a little 1-page pamphlet that it's here's the basics of the story that you're going to be up against. And the rest of it's just Yeah, improv. Go for it.
That's great. Then I thought it was almost not going to be a valid statement.
Nah, dude. I mean, half the time, my favorite D&D, as I'm learning, is what I'm trying to get my players to do, which is just improv. Like, I'll manage whether that's lore or not. Like, you just do something.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, where the story's made up and the XP doesn't matter.
Exactly. XP does matter.
I think there are actually some like are role-playing like games like D&D where they use like Jenga blocks, because I know one of my friends, we played that before, where your choices are based on whether you can take the Jenga block out or not. And oh my god, it's actually pretty fun.
And I'm pretty sure.
That's kind of clever, yeah.
Yeah. I've heard of this. This is a real thing. There's actual rules out there for using like a Jenga tower as like, God, there's a name for it. It's like a decision tower or some shit that they called it. But it sounds like a lot of fun.
Trials.
Pretty much, yeah. If it falls over, you lost the game.
You die. That's it. The tower
But
fell
think
on
about
you.
it. Think about it. You could do so many cool things with that. Because what if different colored Jenga bricks were associated with different levels of difficult rolls or something like that, and you have to decide whether you want to pull them out early or later in the game? Because if you pull them out later, then of course it's going to be more difficult to pull them out because the thing might topple over. And yeah, just thinking about that, it could be rad.
One of my players in the chat, I feel
Did you just
personally
use rat?
attacked.
No, I'm kidding.
Bad. So speaking on D&D, because we're actually already at the end of this hour, and I do want to be respectful of everyone's time, and I think for my own mental capacity, we'll probably be wrapping it up here very soon. So before I call things to a close, I'm going to throw something out there for everyone here and for those other guests who dropped. That is part of my Sunday campaign. I have 5 players who are the kind of like the main cast of players, right? But what I always plan to do with my Sunday campaign is the Dregn Durant lore will slowly be teased through that campaign in time, including the Yasuhiro88ch and the backstory of what this channel is supposed to be about. It's murder. It's maybe murder, I don't know, but murder. But as part of that campaign, if you guys are so inclined, I would actually love the idea of getting VTubers as D&D characters into the game. You play as your VTuber to kind of act as like an NPC live, or be involved in the party in like a cameo situation or a guide situation. So if you're a big D&D fan, if you're a VTuber, if you have lore, drop me a note in my DMs. Maybe we plan something out for a little cameo event, or maybe a special little side story down the line, and I'll work with you to convert a D&D character that fits your sci-fi character, because my campaign is sci-fi, so there's going to be a little bit of sci-fi reflavoring shenanigans that we'll have to do, but that invite is out there for all of you here.
Oh my gosh.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Excellent.
Reagan has given DM Jammy a character.
Oh my god. But yeah,
See,
I know.
This is great. I'm gonna force Dregn to come up with an in-game explanation for my giant mutated head.
Giant mutated head.
We need to finally explain it.
Gonna have to give the party a reason to go visit Earth and see the abandoned harbor station where the one life signal was found.
And then there'll be like a big reveal of what's actually underneath Vector's helmet.
Oh my god, he's an Among Us.
Just imagining the party is like cornered. Oh no, what can we do? Wait, what's that up in the sky? It's 3 giant mechs.
You joke about it. I would love for that to happen. And actually, speaking of with Novaswarm here, who's technically like, if I had to talk to one of you about like lore, like who's the lore master of Novaswarm?
I feel like it's Ellie.
Me.
Yeah, okay. But you shared a little bit of restricted information with me way back when, because it was for this idea as I was forward planning, and still not quite there yet. But I do want to hear a little bit more about your lore of the Swarm home base and the threats that they fight, because there will if Nova Swarm is interested in what I'm proposing here, there is various sectors and there's other Swarm pilots that might make an appearance with or without Nova Swarm's cameo appearance, but it's something I'd love to talk about, so FYI.
We can have whole essay conversations.
Whole
about
essay
that.
conversations. Let's go. I'm down. I'm
We
down.
have
That's
a lot
something
of
we've-
extended lore.
Yep.
Yeah, we've brainstormed extensively about that. It's something similar to what you're talking
Yep.
about.
I have ideas and I would love to be a part of it, or at least somehow do like a collaborative, like when Azure Lane shows up in a video game you play, it's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Right? Let's do it.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. What's up, Buffy?
You don't understand how much I absolutely love how this sounds.
Yeah.
And I do this thing. I get called out by my friend Bunicula calls me out all the time. Says you gotta stop keeping your lore hostage. people need to know.
It's actually it's funny you bring that up because I have had a certain little shithead call me out and be like, "Are you a pilot? Are you a navigator? What are you?"
Well, let's be honest. I'm victim to the same thing. I have
That's
lore.
true.
I have not said a single thing about
Yeah.
it.
But that's the thing. That's the
Same.
thing. Because I've seen this trend from other channels too. And it's like, you're playing a VTuber. I know you have lore. You wouldn't make a character that's OC. You wouldn't have reference to an artist that makes it, or you wouldn't have some kind of a story in mind, right? So I think every VTuber to some degree has lore. And if this campaign could be an excuse to think about it, one, I'm down for that. But two, I think just, having the main party encounter, again, like, who was it? Was it Buffy or Soul? 3 mechs showing up, right? It's like, who the hell are these 3 mechs? And all of a sudden, the Nova Swarm joins the chat, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think there's a lot we could do with it, and I would love to expand the world of the Dregnverse campaign with what you guys got working on and make it a big, just mixing pot of just chaotic mess. It sounds like a great time.
It does sound like a great time.
Yeah.
Definitely. I was
Speaking of lore, what's yours, Buffy? What the heck? Is there something
Oh.
behind the clown that we don't know?
Yes, there's a lot planned out.
Secret
Actually,
clown?
the what? No, I'm a good clown.
Okay.
The way I was planning to deliver it, but I keep, being a little too exhausted and busy to do it. I was working on making a couple of just small little games to deliver like the lore through static image cutscenes and such. But I've just been so tired to get it done, and I'm tired to do what it takes to finish a game, but I wouldn't be tired to just talk about it,
Yeah. And if you talk about it through a D&D game and then look back at that, and then it's like, you know what? I'm going to keep that. I'm going to scrap that, and Dragon can deal with the rest of it. I'm down.
Yeah.
Also, you're getting called out by my chat. Peter here's like, there are no good clowns. That's a lie. We have one right here.
He's the goodest clown.
He's the goodest.
Thank you.
There is an exception.
Thank you, everybody.
He just jumps on the train, kick him.
No.
I can't. He's a player in my Sunday games.
Jeez. Oh my God.
It's only a shame that we won't have the opportunity to swing by the Guild of Legends, because I can't be a guest and also be a main cast.
So I have an idea for that too, right? So because Zabiel here had the great idea of becoming a streamer after joining my campaign, you bastard. There might
I'm
be
just a trend follower, man.
everything's a trend. But what I'm planning to do in the campaign is there will probably come a time where the main party takes a break, right? Just because I'm asking the party to join in every week. Obviously, we try to take breaks here and there, but it's a weekly campaign. Not only will I get tired, but the players, I'm sure, will get tired, especially during holiday time or whatever. So during any sort of extended break, let's say we take a month off of doing the campaign with the main players, a month would be a perfect window of time to do a little 2-3 game mini side story with some VTubers who hop into the world, right? In a different part of the universe. Exactly. And whether the spin-off is canon or some Disney bullshit, we'll let the viewers deal with that on their own. Yeah. Well, with that though, everyone, I think we're gonna call it right around here. But to our special guests, thank you again for hopping on. This was a great time that I'm sure I will look back to very fondly. Enjoyed talking about a few topics. Maybe one of these days I'll be able to have these conversations a bit more casually, but for now, this was beautiful. So thank you all again, and all the viewers out there who stopped by, thank you as well. Do go check out everyone's channels. I will add them to the description at some point. I only have the main guest there right now. But yeah, any closing remarks from our guests here? Anything you'd like to share?
Thanks
Anything
for
you guys got
having
going
us,
on?
Dragon, and happy birthday again.
One more time?
Oh, no.
We should do one more time.
Happy birthday.
Oh. Absolute madness. Many more. Oh my god.
Yeah.
At least.
Fantastic.
Dragon, are there any games you're planning to play in the near future?
Yeah, so that's a good point. That is a good point. Not to delay the stream any longer, but I personally am probably gonna at some point come up with a slightly variant schedule where I think there's a couple of games I want to focus on for like what I would be known for if I continue this. So I'm probably going to do that for a couple days, and then maybe like on a Friday we'll make it like a collab day or something, right? And I'll plan with you guys or whoever else on a week by week basis. But from a what am I playing perspective, I am so jaded with the market that I'm at a point where I'm going to enjoy games that I see good developers making and good business practices being deployed and solid gameplay loops to come back to. So as far as games coming up, I don't really have a whole lot off the top of my head outside of what's kind of been played already on the channel, but that's where my mindset is, at least with the what I'm playing.
So no Paladins? No, I'm kidding.
Dude, you're the only reason why I'm even considering it, and I still haven't put my foot down, but it is high res, and high res is just a company I'm so upset at. Yeah, so we're gonna leave it at that. I'll message you about it offline. Fuck no! Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started on that game, dude. Alien Isolation, Jesus.
Well, speaking of extending the stream unnecessarily long, Dragon, I've actually got a little something written here that I thought I'd say, if that's all right, if we might share a little something that I wrote special just for you.
Just for me? Oh, I gotta hear it now.
Oh, it's
all right. Let me pull it up here. Let me get it.
Oh, so it was
Here we go. In the week before their departure, when all the final scurrying about had reached a nearly unbearable frenzy, an old crone came to visit the mother of the boy, Paul. It was a warm night at Castle Kaladin, and the ancient pile of stone that had served the Atreides family as home for 26 generations bore that cool sweat feeling it acquired before it changed the weather. The old woman had led in by the side door down the vaulted passage by Paul's room, and she was allowed a moment to peer in. I was gonna go as long as I could, but I broke up.
Damn. As soon as she mentioned Paul, I'm like, wait a minute. Dang.
Way too long.
All right. I think Vector's the first person I'm gonna boot from the call, and for the rest of you,
what I do.
What I do.
Quiz hats, hat, get this guy out of here.
Oh God.
I want to add real quick.
about being jaded at the video game industry.
Yeah.
This applies to video games, cartoons, the comics,
All
anything
forms
creative.
of art. Yep.
Yes. The content you want is not being made by AAA companies. You need to look for the little guy.
Oh, 100%.
The little, yeah. Like if you're not following like 20 indie game devs, what are you doing with your life?
That is true.
Oh, speaking about game devs, Game Grotto. Y'all should check them out.
Oh,
You should
yeah.
check 'em out.
Yeah,
They're
Game
great.
Grotto.
They're game developers. They're
Megan
a
Brown,
couple.
absolutely.
They're very
Yes.
chill as well. Relaxing times.
Yes.
I do
Anyway.
think they need to talk more when they're streaming together, because I've hopped into their channel a few times and it's just like, what are you guys doing? But that said, we all take one step at a time. So, all right. Well, Vector Spaceman, Nova Swarm, Ellie, Regal, Lyra, Nefeltanen, Galaxy Jamwitch, Zabiel, Buffy, the Space Buffoon, Hero King Soul, Zenovia Noether, Pomado, though you're dead to us. Thank you all.
Oh my god.
Rip.
Rip. Thank you all for joining. Really, it's I had very mixed expectations for how this was gonna go, and I think it went the best it could have. So great fun. And again, everyone chat, thank you once again. We're out of here. Bye everyone.
This guy can't even pronounce my name right.
You change it on me every time. God damn you.
Yeah, I remember when Pomado went to her lab to message Dragon that she won't be able to join. And Dragon's just saying she's dead to me.
I'm you know.
A little harsh.
Zenovia, I heard my name. Nice. All right, well, I'm gonna cut it out here live, but once again, happy birthday to me.